All right, welcome in everybody. We're live here from the Rabbit Baseball and Softball Complex here on the campus of Atlanta ISD. I am Zach Doty of Texarkana Game Day, joined by some kids of Rabbit TV. We'll let them introduce themselves here in just a little bit. We appreciate everybody tuning in for this joint broadcast between Texarkana Game Day and Rabbit TV, mainly being done by the Rabbit TV kids and teacher, Mr. Whitehead. So we appreciate them for all that they do and for joining us here today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
My name's Michael Dubason. I'm one of the familiar faces on Rabbit TV, and today we don't have Will with us, but we do have Landry. So Landry, you can introduce yourself, your future of Rabbit TV.
Hello, my name is Landry Blythe. Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, so Landry's the up-and-comer, only a freshman, getting ready to be the voice of Rabbit TV pretty much, and so we're excited to be joined by these guys. We appreciate all of their help and everything that they've done. They've done a great job with the district meets and area meets here these past couple weeks, as well as football games and volleyball games, basketball games, whatever it is. Y'all do a great job in everything, and so we're happy to collaborate with y'all here tonight. We've got a really fun one between the top two teams in district, between Liberty Ilo and Atlanta. Kind of talk about what you guys have been seeing from the Rabbits this year.
Yeah, I mean the Rabbits, they starting off the season, last year they started off the season really slow. I think either 0-8 or 0-9 start. So they really wanted to flip the script this season. They started out to a little rocky road. I mean they weren't losing every game like last season, but they'd win and get on a run, then they'd lose one and start falling off, drop a couple games here and there. And now they're starting getting into district play, and they've started to pick it up a lot more as we seen last year. And we've seen the last few seasons this Rabbit team has got a lot hotter later as you get into the year, and I mean it looks like both teams are starting to do that, and that's really good to see, especially going into later district into the playoffs, because both these teams could be really fun to watch later and on in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they have been really hot. Their last couple games. Atlanta is 7-2 in district play right now, second behind LE, who is 8-0. And in fact, the last time they lost was against LE when they previously played. So it's looking to be a really fun and exciting matchup here.
Yeah, the Rabbits on a 5-game win streak, a really good thing for them. Like you mentioned, the last loss was to Liberty Ilo, picked up good wins against Hooks, Redwater, and and so there we go. So really good going into this season, and we appreciate this here. Coach Hooten coming to mess with y'all just a little bit, it looked like.
just a little bit.
And so getting the starting lineups announced right now. First we got the Liberty Ilo Leopards getting kicked off from top to bottom. We got Burton Pipes as the leadoff man at second base. Gabe Jarvis will be the starting catcher. Tristan Howe in the 3-hole will be over at shortstop. Eli Jarvis at first base. Colin Evans in the 5 spot out center field. Dylan Neighbors back over at third base like we saw against Hooks. Caden McLeod back in the designated hitter role. Maddox Moore going to be the starting pitcher tonight for the Leopards. Arian Taylor out in right field. And then Will Tipton will make his return back to left field and not hit, as Caden McLeod will hit for him, but he is back after rolling his ankle in practice a couple of days ago. Batting order for the Rabbits, we got Peyton Harrison over at first base. Jaden Riley out in center field. Easton Owens in left field, Kason Watley out in right field, Peyton Gasson in at third base, Eli Mitchell behind the plate as the catcher, Huntley Fisher the shortstop, Chris Hale the designated hitter, Brady Parton the second baseman, and Eli Dryden will be the starting pitcher and not be hitting for the Rabbits. And so the Leopards, a really tough week. Monday they started with Hooks. Yesterday afternoon they had the Pleasant Grove Hawks, and so today they have the Atlanta Rabbits. And Coach Fowler has said that this is really like a playoff series for them in a way, that these are the 3 games and that he wants his guys to treat them like a playoff series and in really high competitive games, and he thinks that can help them down the road.
Yeah, I mean, because normally most of the times you don't see a little 3-game stretch in the middle of the season like this, and it is a little unorthodox, but I do see where Coach Fowler is coming from, and I think that's actually really smart, because whenever you get thrown into those 3-game series when they just come out of nowhere, you're not really expecting it later on in the playoffs. it's a lot different than just playing one game because you got to have the pitching, and your batters are a little different. And they have to be able to recover quick with the games, and I mean the pitchers have to recover, batters have to recover, and they have to, if they get in a slump, they have to think more about it mentally and be able to get out of that mental slump and really dog it out in these 3-game series like we're seeing out of LE this week.
And yeah, and last time they played together, it was definitely a dogfight. 10-9 LE last time they played against each other, and both teams have been red hot since that game. And some players to watch for, or the players to watch for the Rabbits is definitely Jaden Riley and Peyton Harrison, as they have been red hot recently. Peyton Harrison and Jaden Riley actually went 9 for 9 with 2 doubles, a triple, and 6 runs last time Atlanta and LE faced each other. So they're definitely looking to have a performance like that.
Yeah, go ahead. That game was actually kind of an uncharacteristic game for both teams, though, as far as errors go, as far on the defensive side, and that's why it became so high scoring. It became a 10-9 matchup, and that's kind of something that both teams are going to look to clean up. But like you mentioned, Harrison and Riley were so dominant in that game, but they had 6 of the 9 runs that were scored by the Rabbits in that game. The rest coming by Easton Owens and Kason Watley there at the top of the order. And so I look for the bottom of the order to get their own. Kind of look at who are some of those guys in the bottom of the order that can get going for the Rabbits in this one.
And right now we are going to go to the national anthem.
All right, so after the national anthem, kind of return to what we were talking about, guys. Who do you think is in that bottom of the order for the Rabbits, who can kind of step up big for the Rabbits tonight and kind of get some good hits besides the top of the lineup?
I mean, I think that the guys that need to get hotter right there, I mean, Huntley Fisher and Chris L. I mean, Huntley Fisher's been hot. He was hot at the start of the season, kind of went off a little bit. He's starting to pick it up a little bit more. And Chris Hell, he's been having his ups and downs lately. And as long as he can get on base and make something out of it at bat, I think that's going to be really good. And then when we look down towards Brady Partain right there, holding down that 9 spot, he's been holding up that 9 spot since he's been on varsity, and they have him down there not as a typical 9-spot guy, but as almost like a second leadoff guy to turn over the order, because we've seen over the years that he has one of the best batting averages, best on-base percentages, and he's a guy that you really want out there to go get on base. So they throw him down there at the 9 spot and get somebody on base for Harrison. And so I think those guys, if they can get hot at the bottom of the lineup, then it's going to be a great game.
So we'll see Eli Dryden get to start on the bump for the Rabbits. Last outing that I see, he went 7 innings, 4 hits allowed, no earned runs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts in that 1-0 victory against DeKalb. Kind of talk about what Eli's been up to this year and how he's been like a really good starter on the mound for the Rabbits.
Yeah, Eli at the start of the year, he had a bunch of trouble issues, so he didn't get the start that he wanted to at the beginning of the season, and really had a delayed start to the season. He was about a month later than he wanted to coming into the season, and due to that, he had a lot of ups and downs at the start, and he was getting rocked the first few games, but then he started picking up these last few, and it's starting to show.
So we'll see Britton Pipes up first. First pitch that he sees, he'll take one off the head, and he'll sprint down to first base for a leadoff base runner for the Leopards. We'll see Pipes, Jarvis, and Howe, the gentlemen, due up for the Leopards.
Yeah, and that right there is the Eli Dryden you don't want to see, because sometimes he does struggle with his command and control, but once he gets on it, then he's on it. But right now, after that first batter, it's gonna looks like it's gonna be interesting tonight.
Gabe Jarvis up now, batting .283 this year for the Leopards. That lefty, one of the three that falls in there for the Leopards. First pitch he sees, he'll foul back behind the net. Going to start 0-1.
That's why you can't hear. Okay.
So Parton trying to get figured out now. 2 pitches so far. One Pipes on first. He'll throw over to Peyton Harrison over on first, trying to hold Pipes over. Second pitch to Jarvis, going to be high for a ball. Going to be 1-1 the count to Gabe.
Still on two.
Trying to get ready now. Another move over to Pipes. Going to be in there safely. Pipes wearing number 22 this afternoon. A little unorthodox. Maybe forgot the number 13 somewhere. Just kind of picked up what he had to.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I thought he was number 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't find him on the roster.
Yeah, he'll throw you off. I wrote 13 by Pipes. I've always known Pipes as 13, and so him wearing 22 is going to throw me off all night.
Yeah, I've never seen him wear anything other than 13. So I was like, I mean, it is him with the hair, but
yep.
but not really sure what's up with the 22. So probably just misplaced the jersey.
Yep. Gabe fouls the third pitch of the bat off, so it's 1-2. He's going to put this one in play. A little ground ball over to third base. He'll field it. Not going to be in time. Is a clean throw over to Harrison. But both Gabe Jarvis and Britton Pipes will be safe on first and second with Tristan Howe due up.
Yeah, it's just a for Dryden right there. I know he just feels that at bat after after him and Jarvis had that great at bat and a little sawed off shot right down the line. But great running that out right there. I mean, a great way to hustle.
And I think there you'd like to see Peyton Gaston maybe let that ball go a little longer, see if it goes foul, and can continue that at bat. We see Zyvan Banks step in as the courtesy runner for Gabe Jarvis, the catcher.
And Peyton Gaston over at third played that perfectly, but just bobbled the ball just a little bit.
Yeah,
First pitch, Howe sees.
He looked like he was waiting back a little at the start. He could have waited back a little bit more, but I think he just had to. Just thought he had to just go for it if he wanted any chance to throw him out.
So 1-0 the count now on Howe. They're seeing the first pitch. Howe back in this righty position, righty-righty matchup. This one, he'll sky into the outfield. Riley having to come up to it. He'll call it off and record the first out of the inning.
Yeah, I remember the last Liberty Ilo Atlanta game. Riley had a lot of plays out there in center. I mean, I remember he had a diving play, and I think he probably was responsible for probably 8 or 9 outs that game.
Yeah.
And they just kept hitting them fly balls or line drives out there, and he just kept making the plays on them.
He also dominated on the offensive side of the ball, or offensive side, going 5 for 5.
Yep, he was a big part of the defensive side, and thing that I took out of this one's put back out to Riley. He'll catch that one, get a bobble it a little bit. Pipes is going to head over to third. He'll be in safely after the throw gets a little offline, but both runners advance after Riley bobbles the ball, and so both runners now in scoring position with 2 outs, and Colin Evans will be up to the plate. The thing that I really took away from the last game, though, was the big arms on the outfield. I mean, it felt like there was no sacrifice fly opportunities with how much they were able to throw and how well they're able to put those balls on target.
Yeah, whenever you watch these guys warm up, all the guys in the outfield, they could really stand from anywhere on the field and throw it as far and as hard as they want. That's one thing great about this Rabbit offense this Rabbit defense. Their outfield just has amazing arms.
So Colin Evans, the hero last time, had that walk-off single Back to the second baseman with the bases loaded to give the Leopards the win in the last meeting. He steps in with a 381 average. Sees the first pitch for a ball. 1-0.
Yeah, the Rabbit outfield definitely have the arms and the speed, definitely. They're definitely not weak in the outfield.
That ball on the outside edge for a strike, going to be 1-1. Evans, another lefty, one of the 3 in the lineup for the Leopards. Evans and the 2 Jarvis brothers. That one in the dirt, get blocked by Mitchell. Talked about it the last time these two faced off, but I've been really impressed by Eli Mitchell in the way that he's gotten better about blocking those pitches behind the plate throughout the season. 2-1 pitch to Evans. This one going to be fouled away, going to even the count at 2 as this one goes over the Rabbit dugout.
Yeah, last year, right before district play, Eli Mitchell made the transition over to catcher, and he struggled a lot, but started to pick it up when it started to matter later in district in the playoffs. And this year, he's definitely had his ups and downs, but I mean he's improving, and with going to have another year under his belt, going into his senior year, he's going to be unstoppable back there.
This one, a liner over the shortstop's head. It's going to score 1. Zivan tailing around third. He'll come in safely, and the Leopards kick things off with a 2-0 lead after a 2-run RBI single from Colin Evans.
Yeah, just over the glove of shortstop Huntley Fisher right there. If he had another 3 or 4 inches in height right there, I mean that's that'd be a great little jump double play right there out of the shortstop, but unlucky for him. A great shot right there into left center and put 2 on the board for the Leopards.
Yep, great job by Colin. Now we'll see Dylan Neighbors step in. He was the starting pitcher in yesterday's win against Pleasant Grove. He went the full 7 innings, and so look to see what he can do from the plate. He had a really good game the last time they faced off. He went 3 for 4 with a double, had a run and a stolen base. So Neighbors, the righty. Got another move over at first on Colin Evans this time.
Yeah, one thing Dryden loves is he loves his pickoff moves, just to disrupt the batter and try to get him off his on his toes a little bit.
Neighbors going to call for time. Neighbors is batting over 300 at a 308 average, has a 452 on base percentage.
And I've noticed that from Eli Dryden. He has tried to pick off the first base runner 3 times this inning.
This one is going to run inside on Neighbors. Going to make it 2-0.
And yeah, one thing you'll see with Dryden and some of the more experienced pitchers, I mean, they're not always picking off to try to get that out, but they're trying to disrupt the batter at the plate, get his timing off, because especially in the longer at bats when it's more 2-2, 3-2, you're trying to get everything you can.
This one going to sail away from Neighbors, going to be 3-0. And another reason why you want to do that, especially against a team like Liberty Ilo, that they're going to be pesky on the base paths. They like to play a lot of strategy games. They don't just play I'm going to hit it, and whenever I hit it, the runners run. It's going to be a mind game the entire game, and so they're wanting to kind of play chess with them. This one going to sail high and outside, and so Neighbors will take 4 pitches and head over to first. There'll be runners on first and second as the DH Cade McLeod steps in.
Yeah, and this right now is starting to look like the same story as the previous Liberty Ilo Atlanta game. Whenever Atlanta had, I believe, 10 walks on the mound. I mean, that's just something you can't do if you want to win a baseball game. And surprised that it was even that close with whenever you look at the walks, but due to both teams making errors, that's really what kept them in it. And I mean, if you look at the amount of runners that were on base that game, you would have thought that it would have been even higher scoring, but just not just errors on the defense, but a few errors on the offense for both teams, leaving runners stranded, which Liberty Ilo has not done so far tonight. So most likely the winner of the left on base, the winner in the left on base category tonight is most likely going to be the winner of the game too.
Yep, so Cade McLeod going to step in after Coach Hooten has a conversation with his pitcher. Cade stepping in with a 352 average over a 538 on base percentage, batting over 1,000 as far as OPS goes. And so McLeod will step in the right-handed box. First pitch he sees will be high for a ball. Going to be 1-0 again, the count. Cade McLeod finding his way in a lineup of a very senior-heavy squad as a sophomore, but has really come to find his own and been a great DH for the Leopards. This one going to hit the inside edge for a strike. 1-1 even.
Yeah, and one thing that both these teams share looking down the lineup is being very senior heavy, with the Rabbits having 8 seniors this year. I'm not really sure how many
I believe the Leopards have 8 as well.
Yeah, so that's going to be very, very fun next year to see the change in the teams.
Little looper finds, not able to find the zone, excuse me. Going to be a little high. So 2-1 now. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's building blocks on each team as far as where you go from here. But, I mean, hopefully a lot of senior leadership this year continues the success of these programs. This one a little dribbler back to the mound. Dryden throws it over to Harrison for the third out. And so the Leopards put up 2 but leave 2 stranded. We'll head to the bottom of the first where the Rabbits have a chance to respond. We'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be back for the bottom half of the first. You're watching Rabbit TV and Texarkana Game Day.
I'm Dylan Thompson with Dylan Thompson Wealth Management. But you know, true wealth is found in knowledge. And that's why we support Atlanta High School and Rabbit TV.
Undetected vision issues can lead to difficulties in school, hinder social interactions, and even affect their self-esteem. The good news is that there's a simple solution: regular eye checkups for your child. If a vision issue is identified, corrective measures like glasses or contact lenses can make a world of difference.
The Eye Guys are a proud supporter of Rabbit TV and Atlanta High School. Go Rabs!
Here, we provide quality materials for your dream home, and Atlanta ISD provides quality educational opportunities to help students pursue their dream futures. Red River Lumber and the Design Center is proud to be a continued supporter of Rabbit TV.
All right, welcome back. Leopards on the mound now. The Rabbits at the plate. We'll see Peyton Harrison, Jaden Riley, and Easton Owens do up this inning for the Rabbits. Maddox Moore on the mound for the Leopards. We kind of talked about it early off of how this week has kind of been like a playoff series for the Leopards as far as what they see, and we've seen Tristan Howell on Monday. We see Dylan Neighbors on Tuesday, and now we see Maddox Moore here on this Friday, and so kind of Maddox Moore solidifying his arm in the starting rotation. Been really good as the closer as well. Peyton Harrison had an incredible season as well. As far as at the plate, he went for 4 for 4 last time. They faced the Leopards with a double, a triple, 4 runs and a walk in his last time up. And so really fun matchup. Him and Riley, who's right after him. Really successful game against the Leopards whenever they met over at AT Markham Park. This one put right back up the middle by Harrison, going to go out to center field, and we'll lead off a single for Peyton Harrison, so make it 5 for 5 against the Leopards so far this year.
That is a perfect AB for the Rabbits, especially for their leadoff. That's in a perfect way to get the bottom of the inning started, especially because they're down 2-0.
So the Rabbits have already seen Moore this year. They saw him in relief in that last game. He went 3 innings, 4 hits allowed, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. A couple wild pitches, a hit by pitch, and 53 of them thrown. This first pitch into Riley in for a strike.
Jaden Riley's also been hot. Definitely a player to watch for this Rabbit squad.
Second one he sees in the dirt. Harrison's rolling. Jarvis will throw it down to Pipes right in front of the base, and he'll throw him out.
He was out by a mile. Great reaction play by the catcher there.
Yeah, that one not getting away from Jarvis quite enough, and Harrison was taking off no matter what.
Yeah, kind of confused on why he went there, especially when you're leadoff guy in the first inning. You really have, you're just trying to have somebody on base for Riley and these other guys right here. And
This one hammered by Jaden Riley out to left center field.
Carrying it.
Gonna
One
be off
hops
the wall. Jaden Riley gonna be stopped at second base with a stand-up double, and you got to think that being thrown out there by Harrison is going to be really costly there for the Rabbits, as that probably would have scored Harrison with his speed.
Yeah, that right there, if Harrison doesn't go, it's 2-1. Leopards still leading, but no outs in the first inning with your first two guys reaching on great hits, and now you have your 3-hole up, but now no runs on the board since Harrison did get thrown out, but here we have Easton Owens stepping up to the plate.
So again, the top of the lineup working really hard for the Rabbits, as Jaden Riley is now 6 for 6 against the Leopards. We see Easton Owens. He went 0 for 2, but he did score a run, had an RBI, walked a couple times, and had that RBI on a sac fly. And so we're going to be with his eighth pitch now to Easton Owens. This one going to be called a strike. 1-1 now the count. Easton Owens, I believe, committed to A&M Texarkana.
Yeah, that is correct. And recently he's been on the little downtrend, but I know he's going to try to pick it up here for the playoffs.
This one put back up the middle, going to fall in front of Evans. Riley rounding third hard. He's going to come in safely, and we've got a 2-1 ball game after an RBI single from Easton Owens.
Yeah, I mean, like we already knew, the top of the order right here for the Rabbits is definitely their strong suit, and so it's going to be sorry, but it's going to be interesting to see what this bottom of this lineup can do, and see if they can stay hot like this, like the top half.
Tayson Watley had go ahead.
If the bottom of the lineup starts getting hot, this could definitely decide who can win this game between the bottom of the lineup for sure.
Watley, a single out to left field, puts him on base as well. Now runners on first and second, and we'll see Peyton Gaston come up and look to help himself out. This is where that bottom half of the order starts, where they really need to start putting things up. He had an RBI the last time that they played, but I mean, it kind of stopped with Watley last time. As far as runs go, he had 2 in the last time that they met the Leopards.
Yeah, and all of these at bats after all these singles right here, I know Peyton Harrison is just thinking of if he didn't get thrown out, there'd still be no outs. I mean,
it'd probably be an even ball game.
Yeah, it'd be an even ball game. And with Peyton Gasson up right here, down 0-1, it's going to be interesting what he does right here. And we know that he is probably the best bunter on the team. He's had more bunt base hits than I think anybody I've ever met.
He's showing bunt right now too.
Yep, showed bunt first 2 pitches, second one he sees for a ball, and even count at 1.
Yeah, which in a situation right here, I don't really know if it's the best call to bunt with already with 1 out, and you are in the first inning, so it's not super crunch time yet. And with your guys already hitting this this early in the game, I just let them swing. But here's showing the bunt again.
He's going to put this one on the ground, going to be fielded by Moore. He'll take the force out over at third, gets the lead runner. So that's going to be 2 down. Really good play there by Maddox Moore, showing off his middle infield skills there on the mound, throwing it over and just beating the speed of Owens.
Yeah, that right there shows why bunt coverages at practice are very important, so you can get outs like that, because getting that out at third is very important, because now it saves. It could save a run if there was a single hit right here.
Like we mentioned, the middle infield having to work around different ways, and they found a good way here so far. Eli Mitchell now up at the plate. He went 0 for 2 last time they faced the Leopards. Got hit by a pitch and walked. A couple strikeouts as well. Looking to do a job here and even this one up. That one going to loop high for a ball. 1-1.
Yeah, I kind of would have thought that Easton Owens would have got a better jump on that right there, especially if you're familiar with your card and knows what play is happening. I feel like should have got a better jump right there on that. But
this one on the outside edge for a strike, 1-2. Rabbit fans not necessarily happy about that one. This one, he's just going to poke at it, going to go down to the third base line. Oh, he gets Watley off the base. Great move by Neighbors. He faked the move over to first, got Watley to come off a third, and gets the out over there. And so that'll be the third out. The Rabbits do put up 1 to cut the deficit But outs on the base pass become the problem there for the Rabbits. We'll head to the top of the second where the Leopards are due up. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Rabbit TV along with Texarkana Game Day.
Whether you're looking for a new garage door or just need repairs, Overhead Door stands for excellence. With a complete line of garage doors and openers, plus expert service you can trust. Beautifully designed, beautifully crafted, trusted for more than 90 years. Always look for the Overhead Door logo to be sure you're getting the genuine, the original Overhead Door.
A place I can learn a lifelong skill? Sure, I'd like to see that.
Atlanta can show you that.
A place where I can be creative? Sure, I'd like to see that.
We can show you that.
A place where I can give back to my community? I'd like to see that.
We can show you that.
A place with a competitive spirit?
Sure, I like to see that.
I'd love to see that.
I can show you that.
A place where we'd never give up? I'd like to see that.
I can show you that. A place I can pursue multiple talents? I would like to see that.
We can show you that.
A place I can be ready for life. I'd like to see that.
Atlanta can show you that.
All right, welcome back. Top of the second, we'll see Maddox, Moore, Arian, Taylor, and back to the top of the order, Britton Pipes due up for the Leopards here. Back to Eli Dryden on the mound.
Yeah, for Dryden this inning, he's definitely going to need to try to limit the balls and the walks and try to attack the zone more and let his defense work.
2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk in the first inning. First pitch he'll throw to Moore for a ball. He's thrown 21 pitches so far in this outing. Second pitch to Moore outside, going to be 2-0 quickly to the starting pitcher for the Leopards.
And these balls thrown by Dryden is definitely going to become a factor, especially mid to late games, because this is running up his pitch count.
This one going to sail away for a ball as well. 3-0 quickly to Moore, who went 1 for 3 with a run, an RBI, a hit by pitch, and a stolen base the last time up against Atlanta.
And if these walks continue, it's going to be interesting to see what's the point where, even though it's this early in the game, as he walks another batter, when does it get to the point where we need to make a change and you see a new pitcher out there? Because the last time these teams faced, it really happened on both sides. The pitchers kind of got down a little bit, and then they didn't get taken out. There were runners on, and then people started getting base hits, and those base hits translated into runs, and that's how it became so high scoring.
Arian Taylor up now for the Leopards. He went 0 for 4 last time, all putting them all in play, just recording outs. First pitch he'll see is for a strike, and so we saw Harrison, Wiley, and Dryden all take the bump against Hooks the last time up. Harrison threw 50 pitches, Watley threw 62, Dryden only threw 5, so wonder if we could see possibly one of those guys in relief here tonight for the Rabbits. Second pitch Taylor sees in for a strike as well, and so quickly working out of the ball slump.
Dryden's definitely starting to pick it up, and definitely finding the strike zone here.
Move over to first. There on Caden Proctor, who came in for Maddox Moore as a courtesy runner for the pitcher.
Yeah, and especially whenever you're facing 7, 8, 9 right here, you don't want to be walking that 7, 8, 9, that bottom of the lineup. Even though we know these guys can hit, you really want to attack that bottom of the order.
Yeah, and we talk about it so much with Arian as he floats this one up high. Going to be a pop-up over to the shortstop as he's calling for it. He'll record the out. So that'll be the first out of the inning. Keeps Proctor over at first. We talk about it a lot with Taylor about his power and his speed, and so recording that out in the 9-hole is going to be huge as we return to the top of the order in Britton Pipes. He got hit by a pitch the first time up, first pitch. ended up scoring a run. He went 0 for 3 with 2 walks the last time that he faced Atlanta, and so looking to finally get a hit here in his senior year against the Rabs. And so for y'all in school that are here in Atlanta, do you consider Ellie a rival?
I mean, I think so. I mean, growing up, even though I didn't always go to Atlanta, I always knew that there's a little tension between Seattle and Atlanta. And then whenever I got here, I mean, we played them in middle school in every sport. Even though we were 3A, they were 4A, we both still found a way to get each other on our schedules because we played each other for so long in 4A, and because we were always in the same district, always together. Yeah. We moved up with each other, moved down, and now they moved down with us. So I think it's going to be these next few years if we can, whenever we're together. I think it's going to be a battle in every sport.
Runner going on this one. Pipe's going to ground it over to second baseman. He's not going to field it cleanly, so both runners will be safe off of an infield hit by Britton Pipes.
And same thing as Doobie. I haven't been to Atlanta every year I've been in school, but I've known that when Atlanta does play LE, it's always like a close game no matter what sport. So I'd always known that Atlanta and LE has definitely had a little bit of tension, and now that LE has been put in our district, it's definitely going to become more of a rival as the years to come.
Yeah, I think the history of Atlanta and LE rings harder than anything else for y'all now, but especially now that they're back in district. And I kind of bring that up because it's kind of felt like a rivalry week in a way for LE as they kind of faced Hooks, PG, and Atlanta this week, and so kind of a little bit of tensions all around as far as those schools go, and a lot of tough competition that they've had over the years. And so really fun matchups this week for the Leopards and their fan base. Really good crowd here tonight for a really good matchup between the two. Quickly 1-0 to Gabe Jarvis. Singled his last time up. That one going to be in the dirt. 2-0.
And going back to that base hit by Pipes earlier, I mean, whenever the runner on first kind of started going a little bit, it pulled Partain over a little bit, and that seemed like the reason why he took a few steps over to second. That seems like how Pipes was able to reach on a pretty easy single.
Gabe going to put this one back to the pitcher. He'll take the easy throw over to Harrison. He'll fumble it on the exchange. So Gabe will be out. Runners do advance to second and third, so kind of a bunt in a way, if you will, for Gabe Jarvis. And so now both runners in scoring position for Tristan Howe.
Yeah, and looked like some confusion right there out of the middle infielders. They didn't communicate with their pitcher who had second if there was a ball hit back to him, because he looked over, he checked second. They were both converging on the bag, but no one was there, so he just took the smart move and was able to get at least one right there.
And I think that was the problem with Parton, like you were mentioning, that he was in double play depth, and so Pipes putting it over to his glove side, getting him out of range, made it more difficult for him as well. First pitch to Howe for a ball. He's 0 for 1. Flew out his last time up to center fielder Jaden Riley.
Like you said, LE definitely has a strategy on the base path because their base running has been top notch.
Hot inside there on Howe, 2-0. Driving now over to 34 pitches. 2-0 pitch from Dryden. It'll loop in high. Going to be 3-0.
Going back to the Liberty Ilo Atlanta talks, I feel like that Liberty Ilo moving down to Atlanta's district is really just going to improve. It's going to improve both teams in every sport, especially Atlanta, because it's giving them more competition in every single sport. Because there's a walk by Dryden.
4-pitch walk. Proctor getting a little cutesy over there on third, and he'll be called out as he's thrown out. And that'll be the third out as Proctor tried to get a little cute, trying to possibly steal it on the walk. But he gets thrown out at third, and that'll be the third out of the inning. We'll head to the bottom half of the second where the Rabbits have a chance to tie this up, or maybe even take the lead. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Rabbit TV and Texarkana Game Day. We'll be right back after this.
I'm Dylan Thompson with Dylan Thompson Wealth Management. But you know, true wealth is found in knowledge. And that's why we support Atlanta High School and Rabbit TV.
A place I can learn a lifelong skill? Sure, I'd like to see that.
Atlanta can show you that.
A place where I can be creative? Sure, I'd like to see that.
We can show you that.
A place where I can give back to my community? I'd like to see that.
We can show you that.
A place with a competitive spirit?
Sure, I like to see that.
I'd love to see that.
I can show you that.
A place where we'd never give up? I'd like to see that.
I can show you that. A place I can pursue multiple talents? I would like to see that.
All right, welcome back. Fisher, Hale, and Partain due up this inning for the Rabbits. Second pitch that he'll see. He'll put into the left center gap. It'll get down, and he will round first hard, but end up staying over there for a leadoff single is Huntley Fisher. And there it is, the bottom of the order getting hot.
Yeah, that's what this bottom of the order really needs. They need guys getting on base by any means, setting up people on base for those top of the order guys like Harrison and Riley. Really good, shot right there out of Fisher. I mean, the freshman, first year in Atlanta, first year on Varsity, now starting shortstop, putting a role he really didn't expect, but I mean, he's really stepped it up.
Hale's first pitch he sees grounded over to Moore. It'll be double play. Pipes will come off the bag, actually. And so he'll be safe over at second. Hale will be safe at first. He's the designated hitter. And so already runners on first and second with a runner in scoring position for Brady Partain.
Yeah, right there. I mean, if Pipes, if his foot stays down just a millisecond longer, that's out, and maybe even a double play because he was just trying to transition a little too quick right there, and the throw a little to his glove side. But now you got number 9 Partain, who, you know, not the normal number 9 hitter, but you know, he's had some unforeseen circumstances recently with him breaking his nose in a recent game. He was trying to bunt, and he fouled it off, hit him back in the nose. So now if you see him, he has a little mask on, but I think he's embraced it, and he's gave him a little bit of swagger.
As he's showing bunt.
He's got that mask on to protect him now. He's willing to bunt now.
Yeah. Knowing that mask is there to save him, he's fine, because at the beginning of the season he was like, don't bunt me, I do not want to bunt, I'm not a bunter.
Yeah.
And then him bunting led to his nose breaking, but
quickly 1-0, ball going to be in the ground, going to stay in front of Gabe just enough to keep the runners put over at first and second, but it got to be 2-0 quickly to Partain.
That is the second time he's shown bunt.
yeah, and you really don't want to see 2 balls thrown in the dirt right there, especially when a guy's showing bunt in an obvious bunt situation, because most likely he's not going to pull back. He's gonna ride it out and try to bunt to move these runners over.
Burton will bunt this one. Maddox Moore going to take the easy play over at first, but the runners do advance into scoring position, so 1 down, but runners on second and third for the leadoff man, Peyton Harrison, as he steps back up. Already 1 for 1 with a single tonight.
And like we were saying earlier, if this Rabbit at the bottom of this Rabbit lineup can get hot, it's going to really set up great position for the top of the lineup. And as we see 1 out, runners on second and third, with Harrison was just intentionally walked. So now bases loaded for Jaden Riley, which, I mean, whenever you look at Harrison and Riley against Liberty Ilo, they seem equally as dangerous, but they just want to be able to set up that force out and try to get a double play right here and just be able to save a run at home with a force.
Exactly. It's kind of a pick your poison kind of thing with this top of the lineup. But you walk Harrison here, you get that double play depth, but still you get a really tough hitter in Jaden Riley, who's 1 for 1 with a double so far, and so. Again, that speed all around the base pass and in runners in scoring position. There could be a 3 spot here in 1 at bat from Jaden Riley.
Yeah, and we've seen Jaden Riley. I mean, he has the power, he has the speed. He's the all you can have outfielder. I mean, he has the arm, has the speed out there in the outfield. Then on the bases has the speed, and he has that pop.
First pitch called a ball to him, so it'll be 1-0 the count as he's working here against Maddox Moore.
Yeah, and recently Riley was one of the few Rabbits this year to put one out in this stadium along with Harrison, Owens, and Fisher.
So plenty of power on Riley. Going to be Moore having to be safe here, not hang anything. This one will sail away for a ball. Going to be 2-0. Looked like a slider almost that was working away from the batter. I think that's the right pitch to go to there. Just trying to get a swing out of him, but a very disciplined batter Riley is. This one going to be in the ground. Okay, Jarvis going to block it 3-0 with the bases loaded. Have nowhere to put Jaden Riley.
Yeah, even though it's 3-0 right here, I have a feeling Riley's probably still going to get the green light. And I could see an off-speed pitch right here, just trying to force a little rollover and try to get some outs.
3-0 pitch for Moore. Going to hit the outside edge for a strike. Rabbit faithful not happy about it. Going to be called a strike nonetheless. 3-1 now the count. This one gonna miss the zone, excuse me. And so that will be a walk, and the Rabbits will tie it up with a walk, but make it an RBI for Jaden Riley nonetheless. Continue his dominance and just kind of his overall success so far. We'll see Easton Owens, check in.
Yeah, and Easton, we know he has the pop too with earlier in the season against Van in a tournament game, putting 2 out in one game, and also having a triple and a double.
This one, high fly ball out to center field. Colin Evans getting under it. He'll record the out. Runner will tag, and the Rabbits have the lead.
And about the Rabbits' bottom of the lineup, this is something different from when Atlanta and LE last played. The bottom of the lineup for the Rabs is hot, as shown in this inning, and they got on base, which allowed the players in the top of the lineup to do their thing, and that has led to Atlanta taking the lead. So it's really important that the bottom of the lineup really shows out here.
Exactly. Kason Watley now up to the plate. First pitch he'll see in the ground. Runners were going anyway. And so now runners in scoring position both on second and third with 2 outs. Harrison slid into third. He's going to be down. Hopefully he's going to be all right. He slid in kind of dangerously, and as soon as he did, he instantly showed that something didn't feel right in that right leg of his. Looks like he's holding that calf area.
Looks to be around his calf.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a little cramp right there in his calf. And I mean, right there, Harrison was just trying to make up for Coach Hooten being a little mad at him the previous play, because he was yelling at him a little bit for not tagging up on the deep fly ball to center, because normally right there when it is behind you a little bit, you want to see your guy tag up, and so he just wanted to make up for that right there and pull off the double steal as we see Harrison get up, and it looks like he is stretching, so it's most likely just a little calf cramp, and probably just happened whenever he was planting that foot and going into sliding. So
looks like he will be all right though. Still trainer over there working with him on third base, making sure he is all right, but nonetheless it will be runners at second and third, and he was sliding as well, thinking that that's the easy throw over to third. If Gabe's going to throw it anywhere, he's throwing it over to third, but the ball got past him, and so he was in safely, not really able to see all that. But
yeah, that was definitely a risky move from Harrison, but fortunately it did work out, and now there are runners on second and third.
Ground ball going to be over to the shortstop, Howell. He'll throw it over across the diamond for an out. Not before the Rabbits take the lead. We have a 3-2 ball game in favor of Atlanta. We'll head to the top of the third where the Leopards are back up. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Rabbit TV along with Texarkana Game Day.
Here, we provide quality materials for your dream home, and Atlanta ISD provides quality educational opportunities to help students pursue their dream futures. Red River Lumber and the Design Center is proud to be a continued supporter of Rabbit TV.
Undetected vision issues can lead to difficulties in school, hinder social interactions, and even affect their self-esteem. The good news is that there's a simple solution: regular eye checkups for your child. If a vision issue is identified, corrective measures like glasses or contact lenses can make a world of difference.
The Eye Guys are a proud supporter of Rapid TV and Atlanta High School. Go Rabs!
I'm Dylan Thompson with Dylan Thompson Wealth Management. But you know, true wealth is found in knowledge. And that's why we support Atlanta High School and Rapid TV.
All right, welcome back. Leopards up. Eli Jarvis, the leadoff man. We'll see Colin Evans and Dylan Neighbors also do up this inning. First pitch to Jarvis will be a ball, 1-0 quickly. This one he'll put it into play. Jaden Riley trying to get under it. He will stifle and let it fall in front of him. And that'll be a leadoff single for Eli Jarvis. This one already having very similar feel to that first game as far as high-octane offense and high scoring. A little less errors this time, but still nonetheless a fun one that we have in store here for you in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, they probably already have the same amount of hits in the hit category in this game as they did the last game, but they don't even have half the runs yet. That just shows how many errors were committed in the last game.
Colin Evans up now. He had that 2-run RBI single his last time up. Both of the runs that are on the board for the Leopards. First pitch he sees, he'll ground this one over to the pitcher. It'll be a quick 1-3 put out after Dryden underhands that one to Harrison. Jarvis will advance over to second, so kind of a bunt in a way. And
a little swinging bunt right there.
A little swinging bunt, yep. And so Dylan Neighbors steps back into the box. He's over, or actually doesn't have a plate appearance so far. He walked his first time up.
And this is definitely a very exciting game. Both teams are putting the bat to the ball, and so far it's on pace to look like a really high-scoring game, which is what you'd love to see from two teams that are first and second in the district.
First pitch to Neighbors, he'll put into center field. Riley going to get under it, and there you have that arm of Riley going to keep Eli put over at second base, and so quickly 2 outs now for the Leopards. Cade McLeod up.
And as we see, another little line out or fly out to Riley in center, which is just, Jaden Riley is just, he just is the Liberty ILO magnet. I mean, all the balls they hit just end up going to center field.
And so that tells you that the Leopards are on time with it. They're just a little bit under it whenever they're putting it into center field like that. And so look for them to get on top of the baseball a little bit more. First pitch over to McLeod. He's going to line this one out to center field for Jaden Riley once again.
Just like
up
you said.
for Jaden Riley, and he'll take care of this inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third where the Rapids look to extend their lead. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Rapid TV and Texarkana Game Day.
Here, we provide quality materials for your dream home, and Atlanta ISD provides quality educational opportunities to help students pursue their dream futures. Red River Lumber and the Design Center is proud to be a continued supporter of Rapid TV.
Whether you're looking for a new garage door or just need repairs, Overhead Door stands for excellence. With a complete line of garage doors and openers, plus expert service you can trust. Beautifully designed, beautifully crafted, trusted for more than 90 years. Always look for the Overhead Door logo to be sure you're getting the genuine, the original Overhead Door.
All right, welcome back. Bottom of the third, we've got Gaston, Mitchell, and Fisher up this inning for the Rabbits. 5, 6, 7. Gaston 0 for 1 so far. to get his first hit. One of only three hitters in the Rabbit lineup without a hit so far. Watley, Gaston, and Parton. Gaston, Mitchell, and Parton, Partain. First pitch to him. Going to be a strike. 0-1 quickly for Moore. He'll foul that one off. Going to be quickly 0-2 as Moore looking to work quickly here, as we like to see Leopards do as the innings go on. Third pitch to him, going to sail outside. Another one of those sliders. Trying to get him to swing at that one. Going to fall in the dirt. Good block there by Gabe Jarvis. And that's probably my favorite pitch, is kind of that same handness matchup, that righty-righty matchup, is working that slider away, get him to chase, because it'll start at you and then it works into the other side. And that one going to be in the dirt.
Maddox Moore running a little bit of tempo. As soon as Peyton Gaston gets ready in the box, he's already about to deliver the pitch.
You see it there. This one gets him to fan for the first strikeout of the game. And so one down via the strikeout, and we'll see Eli Mitchell up now for the Rabbits.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, this is that part of the Rabbits offense, which we saw the first time. We saw them heat up a little bit, but they're going to have to keep that going all game if they want to stay in, because we know that both teams are going to keep scoring, so it's just going to be a scoring battle.
Eli Mitchell, first pitch he sees. No swing. Going to get past Gabe. Going to be a strike. Nonetheless, no runners on base to really affect that.
This tempo from Maddox is definitely working.
This one just a little outside for a ball. Going to be even at 1. 1-1 pitch. Mitchell will foul back the other way into the parking lot. Going to be 1-2.
Yeah, and right there it looked like Mitchell kind of embraced the quick tempo. I mean, he didn't even step out of the box. He hopped in quick, and he was just letting them know that he's ready. He's going to match that tempo with his own.
And this one, Mitchell fouls off just barely. And like you can see, Moore is already ready and set before Mitchell even steps in the box or before the umpire gives him the go-ahead signal. He's ready as soon as it's given to him. This one going to be in the dirt low, 2-2.
Yeah, as you see, Mitchell, he stays in the box again. He's not going to back down from this tempo.
2-2 pitch. Curveball going to go over to shortstop Tristan Howell. He'll fire it over across the diamond. Not going to be in time. Mitchell shows off the speed. He'll be in safely with a single.
Just when he fielded that ball, it took a little too much time, and he just got there.
Yeah, it is a great way to leg it out right there for Mitchell, though. I mean, just that 2-2 slider. I mean, he got the pitch 2 times in a row, threw his hands at it both times. One time fouled off, one time a little rollover ground ball, and just had or didn't have enough juice to get to Hawk quick enough, and so.
We'll see Mitchell stay in over at first. No courtesy runner for him. First pitch of this at bat popped up. Moore calling for it. Jarvis calling for it. Moore calls for it. Ends up dropping it. Foul territory though. So it'll be a long foul ball. It'll be 0-1 to Partain.
Yeah, I didn't realize that ball actually went that high, but it took a good week to come back down, and I mean, just lucky right there for Moore that he was standing in foul territory, because he was just about a step away from it being fair. And I mean, I think they probably would have gotten out anyways, because the runner at first was just sitting over there and probably wouldn't have made it to second in time. But still, you really don't want to see stuff like that.
I want to correct myself. This is Huntley Fisher at the plate, not Partain. He's 1 for 1 so far tonight with a single.
One of the Rabbits' underclassmen here on this senior-heavy team. He plays a really big role as an underclassman, starting shortstop, 7th spot. I mean, he is definitely a key player in this Rabbit squad.
Great take there by him to even the count at 1. This one going to ground foul over to Atlanta's dugout. 1-2. Runners were going in Eli Mitchell, and so it looked like that was a hit-and-run situation for the Rabbits. Looking to take away that double play opportunity.
Yeah, the Rabbits definitely need to be a little aggressive on the base without getting thrown out as this game progresses.
That one loops high and outside for a ball. Evens the count at 2. You see Hale, the on-deck man. for the Rabbits, if it allows. Move over to first, and Mitchell gets picked off. Great move by Moore. Just caught him landing on the wrong foot. And that'll be the second out, and this time on the base pass. This one a ground ball. Third baseman Dylan Neighbors is going to call for it. He'll fire it over across to Eli Jarvis. Incredible stretch, and that'll be the third out. Great job by Maddox Moore and the Leopards to get out of that one. We'll head to the top of the fourth. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Rabbit TV and Texarkana Game Day.
I'm Dylan Thompson with Dylan Thompson Wealth Management. But you know, true wealth is found in knowledge. And that's why we support Atlanta High School and Rabbit TV.
Undetected vision issues can lead to difficulties in school, hinder social interactions, and even affect their self-esteem. The good news is that there's a simple solution: regular eye checkups for your child. If a vision issue is identified, corrective measures like glasses or contact lenses can make a world of difference.
The Eye Guys are a proud supporter of Rabbit TV and Atlanta High School. Go Rabs!
All right, welcome back, everybody. Eli Dryden steps back on the mound for the Rabbits. He'll kick off this fourth inning. He's gone 3 innings so far, 4 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, both of those coming in the first inning. Has 3 walks, no strikeouts, 41-42 on certain things. We got 41 on the scoreboard. I got 42 on the game changer. Nonetheless, around that area. Worked good ever since that first inning. He will see Maddox Moore, Arian Taylor, and Britton Pipes up now. Pretty similar to how he saw the second inning. First pitch to Moore will be low for a ball. Moore walked his last time up. 4-pitch walk. And that one going to catch the inside edge for a strike. 1-1. That one just a little low. Going to be a ball, 2-1.
Yeah, Dryden's definitely been picking it up these last few innings, really flipping the script from that first inning, and really what you want to see out of a guy like Dryden.
And this one, curveball, finds the zone for a strike. Evens count at 2. Shakes off. Mitchell gives him the go-ahead 2-2 pitch. A little chopper over to the pitcher. He'll fire it over with an underhand throw to Harrison for the first out. That'll bring up the 9-hole Arian Taylor. Taylor 0 for 1 so far tonight. Grounded out. Or no, excuse me, he popped out to shortstop last time up.
Yeah, so far the real difference in the game that I've seen is the bottom of the lineups have definitely been different, with the Rabbits getting a lot more on base than the Leopards with this bottom of the lineup.
It's definitely kind of flipped the script this time, whereas everybody's contributing for the Rabbits, where it's just the top of the order for the Leopards.
Yeah,
this one, Taylor for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, which is very uncharacteristic for the Rabbits this season, as we've seen probably 75 or 80% of their production with the top half of their lineup.
This one to Taylor going to be low. Makes it 2-1.
And the Leopards did have some trouble last time they faced the Rabbits in the bottom of their lineup too, with their 7, 8, and 9 going 1 for 2, 1 for 3, and 0 for 4.
2-1 pitch from Dryden. Going to go outside, 3-1.
Hitters count right here. If Taylor likes it, jump on it. If not, it could be
So 3-1 count to Taylor. Leadoff man Britton Pipes on deck. That one hits the outside edge for a strike. Going to make the count full.
Leadoff batter, Britton Pipes, on deck for the Leopards.
This one in. Taylor, high pop up down the third base line. Third baseman will call for it. He's going to drop it in fair territory, and Taylor will be safe on an E5 as Gaston just couldn't quite get that one.
Yeah, kind of uncharacteristic for Gaston dropping that right there, but he was just drifting the whole way and really didn't get set underneath that ball for long enough before it came down. Probably lost it up in the lights for just a second, and by that time it was just too late. So it's something you don't want to do and really can't afford, especially when the 9-hole when that's the 9-hole, and now you have the 1-hole Britton Pipes who could definitely get hot right here and be very dangerous.
It's getting to be dusk right now. It's going to be harder to see as the game progresses, and so maybe just lost that one as the night begins to go. First pitch to Pipes, going to be in for a strike. He's 1 for 1. Scored a run. He's been hit by a pitch as well. Pickoff move over to Arian Taylor, not going to be in time. Protecting that speed that Taylor has.
And Drayton's starting to pitch really well. He's pitching better than he did at the start, which is usually supposed to be the opposite. You're supposed to get worse as the game goes on, but he's starting to pick it up here as it's mid-game in the 4th inning. And so he's really starting to pick it up. He's doing well under pressure and pitching well with over 50 pitches on him too. So
ground ball on the third base side. Makes it 0-2 to Pipes. Lady Rabs take a win on their senior night over Liberty Isle Lady Leopards, 15-0 in softball right across from us. And so happy for the Lady Rabs here on their senior night. Had a good season. And this one by Pipes fouled down the right field line, going to go out of play.
Still an 0-2 count right here for Pipes. Just another battle with Dryden in this top of the lineup, as we've seen with most of the Leopards in this top half. I mean, none of them have went down easy. They've all been really good quality at bats, just battling it out.
0-2 pitch going to fall outside. Going to be 1-2. Going to take there by Pipes. Gabe Jarvis, the man on deck for the Leopards, if it allows. See, shortstop playing double field depth. Second baseman still playing a little bit glove side. Remembers how Pipes hit it to him last time, and so wants to be able to field that ball cleanly if he gets it off the end of his bat as well. Another move over to Arian Taylor on first. Still going to be in safely.
Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out.
Infield playing a little in. This one to Pipes, going to go over the second baseman's head, out to right field. They're playing shallow. They're having a slide to corral the ball. Taylor going to be in safely to third, and Pipes is in, sliding in for the double. Runners on second and third for the Leopards, and we see Gabe Jarvis up to the plate now.
Some more confusion right there out of the Rabbit middle infielders with Case and Watley firing a rocket in right there, which could have possibly gotten Pipes, but just no one covering the bag, because that's where that shortstop is dropping back to be that the cutoff man for third base, and the second baseman is supposed to be covering right there, but probably since the ball was hit over his head and he was a little bit more glove side, he just kind of forgot and was more drifting than getting over there in a hurry.
Gabe Jarvis at the plate, 1 for 2 tonight with a single. Like we mentioned, Pipes kind of put that in the exact same spot over to Partain, but just elevated it over his head this time, and that allowed the double. More standard death from everybody, a little bit in from the corner infielders, expecting a bunt possibly from Gabe as he sees his first pitch as a strike on that curveball.
Yet again, some more mistakes for this Rabbit defense.
0-1 pitch to Jarvis, going to be on the ground. Mitchell struggles to see it. Arian Taylor shows off the wheels. We got a tie ball game. Evens the score at 3. Pipes advances to third as well. And now a runner even closer for Gabe Jarvis.
Yeah, just another error out of the Rabbit defense that just cannot be afforded in a game like this. It's going to come down to the wire where every run matters.
Score even at 3, like we mentioned. Very similar feel to this last meeting in Leopard Land. This one going to be put up the middle over to the second baseman. Partain will struggle with it. Jarvis in safely. Runner in, Pipes in safely. Leopards retake the lead 4-3.
And this is not a good time for your defense to start making errors here, because LE is definitely capitalizing on it as they just retook the lead right here.
Especially this being the top of the lineup.
Yeah, just multiple errors out of the Rabbit defense, like we've said so far. I mean, that's just the story of the Rabbit defense against the Yellow. It's normally just been errors, and more errors. And you know, they fixed it at the start of the game, but now we're starting to see that same Rabbit defense from the previous outing.
Zyvan Bankson as the runner for the courtesy catcher. And Gabe, first pitch Tristan Howell sees is runs inside for a ball. Going to be 1-0. 59 pitches now for Eli Dryden. I have 61 on Game Changer. One-0 pitch to Howell. Gonna fall low, gonna get past Mitchell again. Not gonna be far enough for Banks to advance, however. 2-0. Eli Jarvis on deck for the Leopards. See a step off from Dryden here. Howell going to see that one low and away for a ball. 3-0, the count to the senior. Howell's 0 for 1 with a walk. And that fly out to center field. His first at bat. Howell going to foul that one out of play down the right field line. Makes it 3-1. Was given the green light there on 3-0.
As he's worked his way to a hitter's count, this is the best count you can be in right now in this kind of situation for a hitter. Runner on first, 3-1 count with 1 out. Perfect position to do some damage right there.
Move over to first. Going to be high, but Banks will be in safely no matter the case.
Smart move there by Dryden to pick off to throw off the batter's rhythm, because right now it is 3-1, like I said, in that hitter's count, and you gotta throw him off somehow.
Banks is rolling. He'll get into second base safely as the ball slips underneath the glove of shortstop Huntley Fisher. And so runner in scoring position. He'll be in safely no matter what, actually, as Howe was walked on that last play. And so it'll be first and second now for the Leopards. Eli Jarvis will step in.
Yeah, great job out of the Leopards batters right here. All working really good counts, getting themselves in a favorable situation, and then making the best of it, whether it be a walk or a base hit or a play that our Rabbit defender makes an error on, because it doesn't matter how you get on base as long as you get on base and you're putting up runs, just like the Leopards have done this inning with putting up a 2-spot.
Coach Hooten takes his trip out to the mound for a second time. Different inning, though. Is some action down in the Atlanta bullpen. Can't quite get a number on who that is over there.
Easton Watley.
Easton Watley over there. Okay, warming up. So could possibly see him if this inning continues, possibly the next one. Looks like he is getting hot, though, and so I'm able to have him ready no matter the circumstance.
Yeah, the sidearm guy.
And that's always good to have is guys that can switch your eye level and has those different arm angles that can really throw off a batter, especially once you're starting to get into this third time through the order. That's whenever hitters are starting to pick up on you more.
Yeah, because I mean he could throw straight sidearm. He can go just really any slot. He's been working on that a lot over the last 2 years.
This is a smart move here by Coach Hooten to put in somebody who can throw sidearm and straight, because like Doobie said, it's nice to have that sort of switch up that can get the LE batters not used to the way he pitches. And so, once again, a really smart move by Coach Hooten.
Eli Jarvis puts this one the opposite way into left field on a liner. Not going to be high enough or far enough to allow the Leopard runner to tag and advance. So 2 down now for Colin Evans. He was the man that scored the first 2 in that first inning. He's 1 for 2 with a single, has 2 RBIs. Banks was one of those runners that he scored. Looping curve doesn't quite break enough into the zone. Falls outside 1-0 to Colin. And again, trying to work hard against Colin. He was the winning man there last time up in that 10-9 win over the Rabbits in Leopard Land. This one high, pop up, being called by Eli Mitchell right at the netting. Gonna fall right behind him and gonna be foul. It was tough right by that net, kind of trying to find his positioning. Has to get behind the ball. Had kind of guys behind him, but I don't think they were calling for it. They were letting Mitchell have it.
Yeah, it looked like Dryden got in a good position behind him, and I think he wanted to call him off, but he knew he had faith in Eli right there, and he really thought that he was going to be able to make it. And just the ball hit that high. It's such a hard play right there by the net for that catcher.
So 1-1 count now. Colin Evans move over to second. Keeps Zavin over there. Two outs for the Rabbits. Dryden looking to get out of this one. It'd be huge to keep this a one-run game. Dryden's pitch. Getting hit the outside edge for a strike. 1-2. Quickly to Evans. See what he does here with the 2-strike count. Take a different approach here on 2 strikes. Choke up a little bit. Just looking to put it in play, put it through a gap. 1-2 pitch. Evans puts it out to left field. Left fielder struggle with it. Gonna go over his head. Banks rounds third. He'll score. Howell coming hard over third. He's gonna run home. He'll score another 2-run hit for Colin Evans. And this time it comes in the form of a double. 6-3 the score now for the Leopards.
Just great situational hitting right there out of the Leopards. Like we've seen, I mean, it doesn't matter how you get on base as long as you have somebody like that step up and get a base hit, because all it takes is 1 base hit, and that's, like we just see, another 2 runs out of the Leopards, who have put up a 4 spot this inning, increasing their lead even more.
And they're going to bring in, I believe, the relief pitcher for Atlanta, Easton Watley, as it looks like Coach Hooten is calling up, and Easton Watley is running towards the mound, and he is out of the bullpen. And we have our first pitch and change of the ball game tonight.
Yep, so Eli Dryden goes 3 2/3, 6 hits allowed, 6 runs, 2 of them earned, 4 walks, no strikeouts. He is responsible for the runner on second, so we could see that added to his line as well. Book's not quite closed on him, but we will see Easton Watley come up. Kind of what have you guys seen from Easton this year?
Easton, he's normally one of those mid-relief guys that comes in. And, normally you don't get a crazy amount of pitches out of him, which I did see that he went close to 60 the other day. So normally he's more of that 35 to 45 guy, and just he gets you out of a bunch situation. I mean, I've seen him come in multiple times when there's 2 or 3 runners on with just 1 out and be able to get out of the situation. So he's one of those guys that you go to when you need outs, you need ground out rollovers, and I mean a lot of guys. He has a high strikeout rate, especially with your first time seeing him, because it takes a little bit used to getting to see that sidearm motion, and once after that he becomes more of a ground ball rollover pitcher. But it's going to be interesting to see the change from somebody like Dryden, who's quick and over the top, to somebody that's a little slower and from the side.
And so he did make an appearance in the Rabbits' last outing. He showed up against Hooks. He went 3 2/3. He ended up getting that win in that game. He went 2 hits allowed, no runs allowed, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts in that last game. He did not appear the last time that they faced the Leopards, so it's a new arm completely for them, and look to see what he can do. Had those 2 strikeouts like we mentioned against Hooks. Only 1 strikeout on the night so far from Maddox Moore, so look to see if he can get these Leopards to swing and miss a little bit.
Yeah, looking at the strikeout numbers so far, the last time the Leopards and the Rabbits faced, the Leopards only struck out twice. So, they're not a team that strikes out a lot. And then the Rabbits, they struck out 7 times to only 1 tonight. So a little flip in the script a little bit, with the Leopards having no strikeouts on the night, and the Rabbits having 1 at the dish. But just a good flip to the script for the Rabbits, and then great out of the Leopards having no strikeouts all night.
So Neighbors will call a time before Watley's able to throw his first pitch. Neighbors 0 for 1 with a walk so far.
The way LE puts the bat on the ball is crazy. That, like you said, no strikeouts, and just like whatever they're throwing, they can put the bat on the ball.
First pitch Neighbors sees, like we mentioned, from that sidearm action, going to be for a strike. Loops all the way around to the outside part of the zone for a strike. This one a little dribbler back over to the mound. He'll throw it over to first Peyton Harrison to record the 3rd out of the 4th. The Leopards put up 4 in this one. They retake the lead 6-3. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th to see where the Rabbits can answer. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Rabbit TV, and it's Texarkana Game Day.
I'm Dylan Thompson with Dylan Thompson Wealth Management. But true wealth is found in knowledge. And that's why we support Atlanta High School and Rabbit TV.
Whether you're looking for a new garage door or just need repairs, Overhead Door stands for excellence. With a complete line of garage doors and openers, plus expert service you can trust. Beautifully designed, beautifully crafted, trusted for more than 90 years. Always look for the Overhead Door logo to be sure you're getting the genuine, the original Overhead Door.
All right, welcome back. Bottom half of the 4th. Maddox Moore returns to the mound for the Leopards, as we will see the Rabbits up now, looking to answer their way back into this one after a big top half of the 4th. We will see Hale, Partain, and Harrison do up this inning for the Rabbits. So far, Maddox Moore gone 3 innings, 6 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout.
And right here, the Rabbits offense, bottom of the lineup, needs to stay hot.
Yeah, Hale was a part of that contribution his last time up. He's 1 for 1 off of that infield hit. Scored a run his last time up as well. That one going to be low. 2-0. This one in for a strike. 2-1 now the count. That one gets him swinging. 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Pitch for Moore. Gets him to pop this one up. Gabe Jarvis trying to get underneath it. He'll sail backwards and record it for the out. So one down now, as we'll see Brady Partain, the 9-hole, step up to the dish.
Second baseman,
Brady Partain hit into a sacrifice bunt his last time up to the pitcher Moore. First pitch he sees going to be a ball, 1-0. So might not have a hit, but did a good job of putting it in play and advanced the runners his last time up. And so quality at bat from him, and does a good job contributing to the the Rabbit lineup so far. That one going to sail outside, 2-0 quickly from Moore.
And Brady Partain is definitely the person you need at this 9 spot. Like Doobie said, he is basically like a second leadoff person, and he's definitely the guy you want to try to start something and get a base runner for the real leadoff.
Last pitch you saw for a strike. This one going to be called a ball, just a little inside and low. 3-1 the count to the 9-hole Partain. Peyton Harrison, leadoff man on deck. This one will be fouled over to the Atlanta dugout. Makes the count full, 3-2. Partain looking for his first hit against the Leopards in these two matchups. Another ground ball foul towards that Atlanta dugout.
Great battle out of here, out of Partain right here, sorry.
And this is what you want to do. You want to work Maddox Moore into these counts, extend his pitches. He's at 57 so far, 58 recorded on the scoreboard. So this one he's going to put it into play. Going to be a little looper out to shortstop Tristan Howe as he makes his way almost out to left center field to catch that one. Nonetheless, he'll record the second out, and that will return us to the top of the lineup and Peyton Harrison.
Although Partain did fly out, that was a very productive at-bat as he worked Maddox Moore's pitch count. Exactly what you need as he's getting up in those numbers. He's starting to reach 60 pitches. He is at 58 right now. And working those pitch counts gets that pitch count up, and that starts to wear his arm out. So that's definitely one you want to do, especially for Maddox Moore, because he is a really great pitcher.
This one low for a ball, 1-0. Quickly at Harrison. He'll put this one in play and continue his hit streak as he hits this one out to center field with a 2-out hit.
I believe he is 3 for 3 on the night now.
2 for 2. He was intentionally walked his second time up, but he'll be 2 for 2. He did look a little like he was limping a little bit, like he was very easy getting over to first base. I wonder how much that slide into third base is still playing a factor in how he feels. Jaden Riley, ground ball over to Dylan Neighbors. He'll fire it across, and that will record the third out. And so Jaden Riley finally put out here against Liberty Yalo, and that'll conclude the 4th inning. No runs put up this time by the Rabbits, and so we'll head to the top of the 5th. You're watching Rabbit TV along with Texarkana Game Day.
Here, we provide quality materials for your dream home, and Atlanta ISD provides quality educational opportunities to help students pursue their dream futures. Red River Lumber and the Design Center is proud to be a continued supporter of Rabbit TV.
Undetected vision issues can lead to difficulties in school, hinder social interactions, and even affect their self-esteem. The good news is that there's a simple solution: regular eye checkups for your child. If a vision issue is identified, corrective measures like glasses or contact lenses can make a world of difference.
The Eye Guys are a proud supporter of Rabbit TV and Atlanta High School. Go Rabs!
All right, Welcome back. Top half of the 5th now. We'll see 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Leopards here working against Easton Watley. I'm Zach Doty from Texarkana Game Day, joined by the Rabbit TV crew who have done an incredible job tonight. We appreciate y'all guys for everything y'all do. Y'all have incredible setup here. Feels great to not be behind the production seat tonight and just get to kind of watch the game. We appreciate Mr. Whitehead and everything that y'all do in making this possible tonight.
And it's great to be with you and Texarkana Game Day as well.
First pitch, McLeod sees going to be a ball. Go ahead, Doobie.
Right here for the Leopards. Leopards 7, 8, 9. If they can see some good production right here, they can definitely expand their lead.
McLeod wanted every single inch of that ball, swing and miss, as that one was a little low.
And
by Watley.
Sorry, one thing about Watley is he has some of the most arm side run out of any guy here, especially on his fastball, which has probably more movement than any other pitch that he throws, which most time you don't see. You'd see that more on a breaking ball, but his fastball just has so much arm side run. It's just so hard to connect with.
Does he throw a 2-seam and 4-seam, or does he? Yeah, he throws both.
Yeah, he throws both, as well as a slider, and sometimes mixes in a changeup there.
Looks like that was a slider on this last one sailing away. That one going to sail high. Going to be 2-1 the count.
You never really see a lot of 4-seam fastballs with a lot of movement, so.
Yeah, he can throw that 4-seam and that 2-seam with a bunch of movement, like I said. But that main killer pitch is that slider with him staying away from that changeup, as it does hang a good bit.
This one sails away as well, and so McLeod will lead off the inning with a walk. Lead off base runner for the Leopards, and now Maddox Moore, starting pitcher for the Leopards, looking to help himself out at the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight, has a walk as well.
As we've seen all night with the Rabbits pitching, they continue to walk the bottom of the lineup, which is something you never want to do, because we know these guys can hit, but statistically 7, 8, and 9 have a lot higher chance of getting out. So you really want to let your defense work and let them have the opportunity to put the ball in play and not just give up a 4 or 5 pitch walk.
First pitch is the inside edge on Moore. Yeah, already 5 walks on the night for the Rabbits, already half of their total that they had the last time that they met the Leopards in 10. This one gets Moore swinging. He'll foul it off. Quickly 0-2 to Moore. Good job by Watley working ahead in this count. Has a little bit more room to work with here. Can use some of those sliders, those change-ups, whatever it may be. Get more chasing, test his aggressiveness. That's what he did with McLeod. Ended up getting away from him. That one's going to sail high.
I think he threw behind him.
Yeah,
right behind his head. I mean, I think Moore kind of I think he thought he was going to get hit in the helmet right there, and kind of just turned and was expecting it, but never came.
Great play by Mitchell to save that one, though, not allow the runner to advance McLeod. 1-2 now to Moore. He'll see that one sail away. 2-2.
Good thing he worked the count to 0-2 right here. He definitely has room to work with, mixing up those pitches a little bit, and it's 2-2 count now, but definitely good thing to have 0-2, get him to 0-2 so he can have some work.
That one going to be low, full count now. Back-to-back full counts worked for the Leopards.
Yeah, you never want your pitcher being up 0-2, then getting down 3-2 after 3 more pitches on three pitches that really weren't even close to the zone. So he really needs to try to work back here. And
runners going, not going to matter, as Moore will advance on a walk. McLeod possibly had a chance to take third there. Mitchell did a good job of ended up getting back after that pitch went a little errant. Arian Taylor will be up at the plate next. Coach Hooten going to take another trip out to the mound to visit with Watley and kind of give a conversation with him. There is no action in the Rabbits bullpen, so if looks like there is any sort of change, it will come out of the field.
Yeah, I mean, you really just can't win ball games when you're giving up close to double-digit walks and then also throwing in errors here and there. And so the Rabs are going to have a lot of work to do right here in these last few 3 innings that they have, and so it's going to be really tough for this Rabbit offense to get going if they can't pick it up on defense, because right now if you look out on the field, you just see all these guys dragging their heads and starting to seem down a little bit. And we've seen that with their offensive production. Now they haven't put up any runs in the previous 2 innings, with putting up 1 and 2 in back-to-back innings, and then just having goose eggs up on the scoreboard since then. So if they can't get some momentum right here on defense to carry them over to the offense, then it's going to be a rough last few innings for the Rabs.
Yeah, and with Watley's previous plate appearance, he did a good job by getting the batter to 0-2, but then after that, you work to get either a third strike or a ground out or fly out and let your defense do the work. What you don't need to do is throw 4 pitches that aren't even close to the zone.
Hard shift from the Rabbits as they put second baseman right in front of the bag, shortstop hard in the gap, and third baseman playing in, possibly expecting a bunt. Both corners are in as well as they shift in hard. Taylor does show bunt. He bats it over foul toward the Leopard dugout. Taylor 0 for 2 so far tonight with a run, reached on an error his last time up.
Yeah, another one of those situations, no outs, runners on first and second. You know a bunt is coming, but it's really, you can't stop it, so you really just want to try to do the best you can, as the Rabbits look like they're running a little will play, trying to get them out at third, which the Leopards were able to successfully run earlier, but it looks like McLeod over at second is getting a lot better jump than Owens did earlier. So,
and I think this is such a hard commit by the third baseman Gaston as well, because of Taylor's speed. And so if he's able to put it on the ground, you want to be able to have that fielder right there to be able to work against the speed of Arian Taylor, who is not only very speedy, but has on the baseball field, but has shown it on the football field as well.
Yeah,
a premier running back.
Because if you can't get that out at third with the play they're trying to run, they need to at least be able to get one at 1. So they got to get there quick.
Back move over to second base. Not going to be in time. Going to go off the head of Cade McLeod, actually. Ends up in the outfield. And again, Peyton Harrison moving gingerly, having to recover that ball as he is limping all the way back over to first. I really hope he's okay.
That does not look good.
I really hope he's okay after that hard slide that happened earlier in the game. So working through that. Ends up being 1-1 now, the count, after that was called a ball.
Harrison has been limping a lot since he got injured at third. Looks really scary over on that first base side.
Taylor misses the bunt on this one. Going to be 1-2 as it gets back to Dryden. And so we'll see the infield take a step back, play regular depth, as Taylor will look to choke up on this one and put it in play and advance some runners with no outs.
A big situation for Watley right here on the mound.
Pipes will pop this one up. Harrison calling for it. He'll grab it, and that'll record the first out of the inning. And that's kind of the best situation possible right there if you're the Rabbits.
Yeah, especially runners on first and second. And with the errors that the Rabbits have committed tonight, it's a good thing that there is the infield fly rule, just in case it was to be bobbled like multiple pop-ups tonight. But Harrison was able to corral it right there, and now see if Watley can work out of this what was no out runners on first and second jam, which is now up to 1 out. But you have the leadoff Pipes up to bat, and he's going to be dangerous with runners on.
Caden Proctor does come in as the courtesy runner for Maddox Moore. Forgot to mention that. First pitch, the Pipe sees going to hit the top outside edge for a strike, 0-1. Pipes 2 for 2. Also hit by a pitch, scored twice so far in this one. This one loops in for a strike on the inside edge. Quickly 0-2 to Pipes.
And an 0-2 count here. He needs to work on this third strike or to get this batter out. We don't need to start throwing outside of the zone or inside of the zone. We need to start consistently hitting pitches inside of the zone, even though we're 0-2.
look to see Paulian off speed here. Ends up to the fastball, but sails outside. Going to be 0-2. Watley really wanted that one.
Here we are.
As he looks back over to his shortstop for the call. What you got to do, kind of in the situation with the runner at second, you get calls from your shortstop back over to your catcher, back over to your pitcher. Kind of talking about just different situations on defense as well as the pitch. This one sails away. Going to be even the count at 2-2. Mitchell thought about throwing back over to second. McLeod will advance back over safely.
And Watley really needs to figure out a way to get out of this situation. He's had 0-2 counts multiple times this inning, has not been able to find a way to finish the at-bat. Now up to 2-2, he really needs to figure something out.
This one going to hit the outside edge. Pipes will sit down on strikes, and that'll be the first strikeout of the game for the Rabbits from the arm of Easton Watley. And so we started with runners on first and second with no outs, and quickly 2 outs now for the Rabbits as Gabe Jarvis comes up, and a good opportunity possibly for the Rabbits to get out of a big jam.
Yeah, and with Easton Watley getting the first strikeout of the night, I know that's a little confidence booster, and if they can find a way to get out of this situation, starting no outs, runners on first and second, and give up no runs, that's definitely going to be that momentum they need headed into the offensive side.
Gabe 1 for 3 on the night with an RBI. Came in form of a single. First pitch he'll see for a ball. (1-0) here as Watley accumulates now 23 pitches since he's been in so far, and now it is recorded as 1 complete inning worth of work as he got that last out of the previous inning. This one gets Jarvis to fan, gets another throw down over to second. McLeod will be back safely on the pickoff attempt.
This is a pretty long inning here. Watley has thrown a lot of pitches, and this inning can't really seem to end. Thankfully, there's been no run scored, but this is just like a long and stressful scenario for this Rabbit defense.
And this one runs inside on Gabe. Going to be 2-1 now the count.
Yeah, and it seems like McLeod, his secondary has got a little less after Mitchell's tried to keep him honest a little bit over there on second. Not really throwing down and try to get him out, just to decrease that lead in that secondary a little bit.
Gabe puts this one opposite way, going to be over the shortstop's head. Kane McLeod rounding hard. He'll be in safely. This one goes off the pitcher's mound, and they're going to get Caden Proctor caught up in a jam to record the third out. But the run will score, and so it will be 7-3 in favor of the Leopards as Proctor records his second out on the base pass to end an inning so far in this one. So we'll take a quick break. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Rabbits have a 4-run deficit to overcome. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Rabbit TV along with Texarkana Game Day.
I'm Dylan Thompson with Dylan Thompson Wealth Management. But you know, true wealth is found in knowledge. And that's why we support Atlanta High School and Rabbit TV.
Whether you're looking for a new garage door or just need repairs, Overhead Door stands for excellence. With a complete line of garage doors and openers, plus expert service you can trust. Beautifully designed, beautifully crafted, trusted for more than 90 years. Always look for the Overhead Door logo to be sure you're getting the genuine, the original Overhead Door.
All right, welcome back. Bottom of the 5th. Leopards put up another one there in that top half of the inning. Rabbits have a 4-run deficit to overcome. I'll see Maddox Moore back on the bump. We'll see number 3, Easton Owens, a man due up, followed by Watley and Gaston.
Yeah, so right here having 3, 4, 5 up for the Rabs. They're going to need these first few guys to get that production going and have that middle towards the end of the lineup pick it up like they did earlier. And if they really want any chance, at this game, they're going to need some production out of the bottom of the lineup, because as it's looking like right now, they're going to need to pick up the slack really quick.
Eastern 1 for 1 on this one, has 2 runs batted in there in that second inning. This one going to be in the ground quickly, 2-0 on Owens from Moore. This one, high fly ball out to center field. Colin Evans barely moves to his left underneath it though, and will record the first out.
Good contact there by Easton Owens. Fortunately, it just hit him right. It was hit right to the center fielder for a routine fly out.
And I mean, we've seen that all game from the Leopards out to Jaden Riley. We just have the same thing here happen to Owens to Evans. This one, first pitch, little low roller over to shortstop.
And what a play by the shortstop.
Tristan Howe does a great job of fielding that one on the slow roller, and will record the second out there on Watley. And now with 2 down quickly, it's up to Gaston.
Yeah, and after Owen fly out to center, which you really just don't want to see right here late in the game for the Rabs, because they need to start flattening that out and hitting more line drives, and having the one pitch at bat to Watley ending in a play like that. It's just very unfortunate for the Rabs, and you really just don't want to be swinging at that first pitch if you're not really sure, especially with Moore's pitch count being so low.
2-0 now the count after 2 straight balls from Moore here against Gaston. Gaston 0 for 2 on the night, has a strikeout. And so that was kind of what worked for the Leopards in the last inning yesterday against Pleasant Grove. They got them to swing on first pitch 3 straight times. As that one runs inside and hits Gaston, he'll end up taking first base and be a base runner with 2 outs here. They got the Hawks to swing, on one pitch most of the time, and so they were able to make that 7th inning quick. As we see Coach Fowler work over to the pitcher's mound, talking to Maddox Moore. Upset about hitting that batter, telling him to get through this one. Already working this inning pretty quickly, and that's just doing nothing but extending it.
Yeah, you especially don't want to hit a guy that hasn't had really any production all night, and hasn't done anything against you whenever you know that that you can get an out. But just need the Rabs are going to need some more production right here out of Mitchell.
Eli Mitchell 1 for 3 on the night, I believe. He had that ground ball over to short that he ended up reaching on an infield single.
And besides these first 2 innings, Maddox Moore has pitched a great game for the Leopards.
Yeah, I mean, very low pitch count, because at this point for the Rabs, they would probably like it to be closer up to 85 or 90, but if they can't work some more at bats, he's going to be going probably all game.
This one hits the bottom edge of the zone, even the count at 1 here against Eli. Eli 0 for 2 on the night.
But it does look like Mitchell is going to try to work a count right here, because these guys are going to need to be going at least 4 or 5 pitches.
And this one going to be low. Good take by Eli, 2-1 now.
And yeah, like you said, he's pitched almost 5 innings here, and the pitch count is only at 72. So he still has some room to work with. He's still pitching great. The velocity is still there. And just overall, Maddox is definitely the pitcher you'd want pitching in this game right now for the Leopards.
Maddox finds the outside edge on that fastball. Going to be 2-2 here against Eli Mitchell now with 2 strikes. See what he can do to get out of this one. That one going to be a low grounder over to second baseman Burton Pipes. He'll throw it over to Eli. Jarvis retires the side. No runs come across, and we'll head to the top of the 6th. The Leopards have a chance to extend the lead. You're watching Rabbit TV along with Texarkana Game Day. We'll take a break. We'll be back after this.
Here Here, we provide quality materials for your dream home, and Atlanta ISD provides quality educational opportunities to help students pursue their dream futures. Red River Lumber and the Design Center is proud to be a continued supporter of Rabbit TV.
Undetected vision issues can lead to difficulties in school, hinder social interactions, and even affect their self-esteem. The good news is that there's a simple solution: regular eye checkups for your child. If a vision issue is identified, corrective measures like glasses or contact lenses can make a world of difference.
The Eye Guys are a proud supporter of Rabbit TV and Atlanta High School. Go Rabs!
Welcome back, everybody. Top of the 6th. Eastern Watley back on the bump for the Rabbits, looking to get warmed up. Eli Mitchell still looking to return after recording that last out, getting all his catcher's gear on. Go ahead and tell us some scores around the area.
There's 2 district games being played other than us. We have Queen City going up against Redwater, and we have Hooks, I believe, going up against New Boston. I do not have the scores for the games. Max Prep set it both 0-0. So we don't really have a score, but those are our other district matchups for today.
I see 7-0 as a score for Redwater Queen City. I don't see one for New Boston and Hooks posted just yet. Probably see that one once that one goes final.
And is the Redwater and Queen City game in Redwater?
Yes, it's actually their senior night tonight. So they're looking to bounce back after a loss to DeKalb earlier in the week. They're currently in the playoffs, looking to cement that as we continue. Tristan Howe, leadoff man here for the Leopards. Eli Jarvis, Colin Evans also due up this inning.
Great job, Redwater Dragons, for showing out for senior night, 7-0.
This one,
and
high fly ball.
That might
Tristan
go.
Howe gonna be off the wall, gonna bounce there. Howe rounding second, gonna end up staying there. Owens, he made that throw from the wall all the way over to third base. That was pretty crazy, but Tristan Howe, what a way to lead off the inning with that double. And so already a runner in scoring position for Eli Jarvis. Eli 1 for 3 on the night. Going to add to his hit total. Gets a quick conversation with Coach Fowler. In the Hooks and New Boston softball game, Zoe Greenwood had an incredible night. The Creighton commit, she hit for the cycle, hit 2 home runs against New Boston in their 25-1 win. They're having a crazy year so far this year. They have the top of the district in softball. Eli Jarvis puts this one back over to play, goes to the shortstop. He'll sail that one a little high. Eli Jarvis will be in safely off of the throw. Tristan Howell reaches third safely, so runner on the corners after that ball put in play by Eli Jarvis.
Yet again, we're put in another tough and stressful scenario for Easton Watley early. Runners on the corners with no outs right now in a 7-3 ball game. Definitely not the scenario you'd want to be in to start out the top of the 6th.
Yeah, and yet another error for this Rabbit defense.
And so Fisher's throw sails high, and it's probably in time where Harrison catches it, but you have to think that his leg plays a factor in how well he's able to stretch off of the bag there.
Yeah, you could see if you looked over after he tried to make that stretch, he was kind of looked like he was wincing in pain a little bit because he tried to, I think he overdid his stretch a little bit, and he wasn't able to get there.
Move over there on Eli, not going to be in time. He'll reach back over safely. Colin Evans now up, 2 for 3, 4 RBI for him. Both in 2 spurts, 2 in the first, 2 in the fourth. First pitch he sees in for a strike. 0-1. Doubled his last time up. Another move over to first on Jarvis, not in time. Another move over to first on Jarvis. He'll be back in safely. Oh, and 1 still the count to Colin Evans. This one, ground ball over to third. They'll take the play over at second. Fires over to first, not in time. And so it'll be a fielder's choice, but an RBI nonetheless. As Tristan Howe comes in, 8-3. Now the score in favor of the Leopards. Runner over on first and Evans with 1 out as Dylan Neighbors steps up to the plate.
And once again, that early scenario with runners on the corners with 0 outs, not a situation you'd want to be in, and that resulted in the Leopards getting a run and with a runner on first. The scenario with a runner on first with 1 out is not as stressful as the corners, but again, the Leopards went up 8-3, which is not what you want right now, being down 5.
This one sails high over Neighbors' head, 1-0 quickly. One-0 to Neighbors as he works against Watley. Watley slowing things down here. Comes up. Neighbors will pop this one up. Out of foul play. Mitchell going to drop right in front of him. And so Neighbors will get another opportunity. Another pop-up that the Rabbits are just unable to get a hold of. And it continues another at bat.
And again, these defensive mistakes is also really costing the Rabbits here. Just missing these foul balls, errors, just giving LE more opportunities to score. That's also been a really main reason. That's also been a main reason why the Leopards are stacking up all these runs.
Something you can't do against a talented squad like the Leopards. Another move over to first. Evans will be in safely.
Especially whenever the Rabs have been, if they've committed some errors or dropped some fly balls, even in foul territory, then the Leopards, they've scored a run in every single inning that they've done that. So it just shows that errors and
Neighbors lines this one into left field. Gonna go against the wall. Evans rounding hard on third. He's heading home. He'll be in safely, and a stand-up double for Dylan Neighbors makes it 9-3 in favor of Liberty Ilo.
And like I was just saying, whenever you commit some errors and don't take the easy outs, it leads to runs scored because it allows for more at-bats to happen, allows for more runners to get on base. And as the Leopards have done all night, if there's been a runner on base, they find a way to score them. I don't think they've left a single runner on base in scoring position besides the base running error that they made earlier in the game. But besides that, if a Leopard has been on second or third tonight, they've came home.
So now it'll bring up Cade McLeod after Neighbors recorded his first hit of the night. McLeod looking to do the same. He's 0 for 2 with a run and a walk. This one gonna get past the third baseman, down the left field line. Neighbors running hard, he'll end up scoring. McLeod tailing it over to second. He'll be in safely with a stand-up double, 10-3 Leopards.
And Easton Watley is starting to give up a lot of runs right now this inning. He looks like he's starting to fade away. as you might want to think about putting in another pitcher here, as he's given up 3 runs right here, and there's only 1 out.
Yep, Coach Hooten will take a trip over there. I believe that's going to be the second visit of the inning, and so we will see a new arm on the mound for the Rabbits. And we have a guy heading out to the dugout.
Looks like it's going to be Fisher coming in. Looks like he does have to go get a different glove, because the glove that he has on is, I believe he has a little bit of white on it, which is not allowed. So has to go change that glove over to a different color. And yeah, there it is, number 14, Huntley Fisher, taking the mound for the Rabbits. As most likely Partain will shift over to short, and Watley will go over to second.
Have we seen Huntley on the mound before?
I believe he's made only 1 appearance in a tournament game very early in the year. I think it might have been, it was either against Van or one of the other teams in the Atlanta tournament. I don't believe he had a lot of innings pitched, but
I believe he closed out the game against New Boston, I believe. I think he
did pitch against Jefferson. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, and not really sure. I can go check on the.
You were right about that New Boston game. He did close that one out. He got the last 2 outs of that one. Gave up 2 hits, no runs. He walked 1, but yeah, he ended up doing that one with 23 pitches. Good memory over there.
Yeah, it looks like they have brought him in a few times, just especially in those situations where they know they really have the win solidified, and just trying to get him the young freshman more reps, especially since all of your top pitchers are seniors and will be graduating this year. So next year it's really going to fall into the hands of those guys like Easton Patterson that we saw in the previous game against Liberty Ilo, than the guys like Fisher and all the other guys that are starting to come up.
Yeah, and so looking forward to that. Kind of next look at some look-aheads for both teams. Atlanta, they'll get the district bye on Tuesday. They did end up picking up a game against Ashdown, though, so they will host the Ashdown Panthers on Tuesday. A fun one. I believe we saw that as a scrimmage game between the two. Ashdown's played a lot of these teams around the area. They played Liberty Ilo. They played Hooks. They're a really good team. They have an Arkansas commit and Walt Jones on the team. A lot of good pitching. Just a really good squad in general. I've seen them a couple times. I've seen them face off against Nashville twice, and seen them play against Liberty Ilo. They're a good squad, and so it'll be good competition for the Rabbits, and a good game that they picked up on that district bye. After that, they'll pick up on the road against New Boston and at Redwater to cap off the season.
And although Huntley Fisher has not had a lot of mound appearances, when he does get called up to pitch, he does a really good job, especially for a freshman on varsity who hasn't gotten a lot of experience on the mound. He does an excellent job.
Yeah, I really like the Ashdown game pickup late in the season to throw something different at you, because in district play, I mean, every time you play each other, you're really seeing the same thing against every team. So just throwing in some new faces in there, see new pitching is definitely going to help sharpen this team up for the playoffs.
They got some good arms over there. It'll be a good challenge for them. First pitch, Morrissey's going to sail outside. A little bit of an errant throw back over to the mound. Gets into the infield and doesn't allow any runners to advance. So Moore will start 1-0. He's 0 for 1 on the night. He's walked twice. The opposing pitcher, he has 75 pitches on his own. Mr. Whitehead trying to psych himself up over there. 2-0. Now the count. Or excuse me, 1-1 after that was called a strike on Maddox Moore. Fisher comes set. 1-1 pitch to Moore. Off speed, falls in the zone for a strike. Quickly 1-2 now on Moore. Here's a runner over on second, and Ethan Berry for Cade McLeod.
Fisher looks inside to Mitchell. Checks his runner at second.
Throw from Fisher. Going to be on the ground. Barry will stay over at second. A little bit of hesitation, ends up staying.
And good awareness by the catcher, Evan Mitchell.
2-2.
And get that ball and pump to second, allowing him to come back to second.
2-2 count. Pitch goes low, full count now to Maddox Moore. Move over there on second as well, and starting to think about it a little bit more. I think that Ashdown game on Tuesday might be a good one that you can rest Peyton Harrison as well, give him a little bit of a chance to recover from whatever it is he might be battling over there, and kind of give him an off day, give him a true week off before they end up facing New Boston. This one poked out to right field, going to be caught out there by Kason Watley.
And
that'll be second out.
Is the Ashdown school, are they a 3A school?
Yeah. They're 4A. 4A in Arkansas.
Yeah.
4A in Arkansas is basically 3A in Texas.
Yeah. Normally, whenever you look at an Arkansas school, all you do is you -1, and then it's about that would be the Texas equivalent.
Because they have 7 classes over there. They go all the way up to 7A. So
yeah,
it ends up pretty much even in and out. I do figure, I think Atlanta's probably bigger than Ashdown, though, if I had to guess. Arian Taylor up now at the plate. That one going to be in the ground. Blocked by Eli Mitchell. Atlanta definitely has the better facility, though. Beautiful field here at the Rabbit Baseball and Softball Complex. Really beautiful stadium that they built over the past few years. Got to play in it last year. Hosted a few games here that we've done for Texarkana Game Day. We had that little playoff district matchup between Pleasant Grove and Liberty Isle last year to cap off the year, as well as Redwater and Hooks. So, fun one. Always getting to do it out here in Atlanta. 2-0 count quickly to Arian Taylor. He'll line this one back over to the second baseman. It'll go off of his glove, unable to catch it. Barry will round third, head into home. 11-3 now for the Leopards. And Arian Taylor will reach on an error once again. But I mean, shows off that power and just so hard to catch out of the air.
And again, just those errors, man. It would be a completely different ballgame if even both teams didn't commit errors, but mostly the Rabbits.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you got to watch it all the way to their glove right there. I mean, he watched it 99% of the way, but you could see right at the very end, he just thought he had it 100%, looked away for half a second, and just skirted right off of his glove. And like we've said all game long, another Rabbit error and another Leopard run.
Taylor's moving on the pitch. He'll be in safely over to second. It'll go to the outfield. Taylor's going to head over to third. Testing Jaden Riley's arm. He'll be in safely as the throw's offline. And now a runner on third in scoring position with 2 outs for Britton Pipes. And I think, kind of over there with the second baseman, he got, I think he got too caught up in trying to turn that double play as Barry was there. He came off the bag hard. And so was trying to make that double play over there on second, and that went down as the 4th error on the night on the Rabbits. Only 4th one listed in the book, but definitely a lot more that didn't get written down. This one, high fly ball out to right field, camped under it is Watley, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Leopards lead by 8. We'll take a quick break and we'll return after this. You're watching Rabbit TV with Texarkana Game Day.
I'm Dylan Thompson with Dylan Thompson Wealth Management. But you know, true wealth is found in knowledge. And that's why we support Atlanta High School and Rabbit TV.
Whether you're looking for a new garage door or just need repairs, Overhead Door stands for excellence. With a complete line of garage doors and openers, plus expert service you can trust. Beautifully designed, beautifully crafted, trusted for more than 90 years. Always look for the Overhead Door logo to be sure you're getting the genuine, the original Overhead Door.
All right, bottom of the 6th. Maddox Moore makes his return on the mound. He's at 75 pitches so far through 5 innings of work. He's allowed 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Looking to continue what he started on the mound for the Leopards. We'll see Fisher, Hale, and Partain do up this inning for the Rabbits.
And like I was saying last inning, we knew that the bottom of the lineup was going to be leading off this inning. So you got 7, 8, 9, and they need to get some production so the top of the lineup can have some people to work with.
First pitch, Fisher will see, will be in for a ball. Going to be 1-2 on the night is Fisher. This bottom of the order got hits early in the game. We're going to continue that right now. Fisher sees that one for a strike. He was count at 1. And that one got to be a ball. 2-1. Now the count. And so Maddox looking to do what 2 other pitchers this week did for the Leopards, and that's go all 7. Saw that from Hal on Monday and Neighbors yesterday. This one, our line foul down the left field line, and that's really what Coach Fowler was looking to see out of these guys. We talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast, comparing this week to a playoff series, a 3-game playoff series against really good talent in Hooks, Pleasant Grove, and Atlanta. This one, hard ground ball through the gap out to right field, and a leadoff single for Huntley Fisher is a good way to start things as we see Chris Hale step in.
Yeah, because whenever you can have multiple guys go complete games, that just saves so much pitching. And that's, I mean, especially in 3A baseball, the more pitching you have in the playoffs, the further you're going to go, because that's really all you need. As long as you can get the bat on the ball, that pitching is going to carry you all the way there.
So Moore eclipses 80 pitches. First pitch to Hale, going to be a ground ball to second, or excuse me, back to Moore. He'll fire it over to second base, and Tristan Howe to get the fielder's choice and the lead runner out. So that'll be the first out of the inning. Hale will be over on first on the fielder's choice, and that'll bring up the 9-hole Brady Partain. I feel like we've seen that play a lot tonight, just those little comebackers back to the pitcher, but Moore's athleticism is able to get him into those fielder's choices where he's throwing it to third, second, whatever it may be tonight. This one on the ground, going to be past Jarvis, not quite enough to allow Hale to run.
Yeah, especially in a situation like this, if you get it out on the base path, it's really that's just going to solidify this game, because that's just going to be a huge confidence killer, because that just means you can't even do anything right on the bases either.
Another move over to first. Not going to be in time on the attempt on Hale. Partain 0 for 1 tonight. That sack bunt his first time up.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, even if the Rabs cannot crawl all the way back, it still would be good for them to be able to get a few hits here and there, and at least put a few more up on the board, because you want to be able to have something to carry over into the next game. Because if you finish this game after starting off the first 2 innings with 3 runs and then just putting up goose eggs after that for the next 5 innings, that's just something you don't want to see, and you really don't want to carry over into the next game, especially this late in the season when really every single type of confidence booster matters.
3 straight balls to Partain, make it 4, and he will walk. And so now runners on first and second for leadoff man Peyton Harrison.
Yeah, and this is a thing that the Rabs should have definitely been trying to work a little bit more earlier in the game, and not just in the bottom of the 6th inning, because they've, I think, Moore has pitched almost as many pitches in these last three batters in this inning than he has the previous 2 innings before that. So they're finally starting to work his pitch count a little bit, but it's just a little too far gone, as he still is only at 85 pitches, and so he has 25 more pitches to work with in these next 2 innings, which with how he has pitched so far this game is more than enough.
Yeah, it's no doubt he'll continue to pitch around how he's been pitching this whole game. And even if he does allow some hits or runs, there is a big gap as LE is ahead 11-3. So
Moore's first pitch to Harrison on the outside edge, called a strike. Going to be 0-1 to Harrison, who's 2 for 2 on the night. Has a walk as well. Now when he fouls back quickly, 0-2. And again, another little hobble out of the box there from Harrison. He might not be able to get as much power as he typically does off of his lower half because of it.
Yeah, as we saw his last at bat, whenever he had the little problem with his leg, he did swing a little softer and just try to poke it out there. So let's be interested to see what he does right here.
Not choking up. Full swing. I'll flop it foul the other way. Right above the Atlanta dugout.
Yeah, one thing Harrison is great at in 2 strike counts, he's very great at battling. He widens out a little bit, and he just throws his hands at everything. He's making sure he at least fouls off every pitch thrown.
Move over to second. Nobody there, so no throw. Just keeping the runner honest. 0-2. Still the count on Harrison. That one opposite way down the line, going to be foul. Count remains 0-2. Runners go back.
And like you said, Doobie, he is battling, throwing his hands at everything, hitting some foul balls. So definitely what you'd want to do, working up this pitcher's count, is this is going to be his 90th pitch right here.
That one sails away, going to be 1-2.
Yeah, it looks like Harrison hobbles out again, and looks like he's been really giving it all right here, putting everything he has on the line for those 0-2 pitches. Now it's 1-2.
We really appreciate seeing that as far as the senior leader goes. That one inside on him. 2-2. Leopard faithful not happy about that one. Evens the count at 2 nonetheless. Harrison, the starting quarterback for the Rabbits all year, has to be a leader there, and so showing off his leadership here on the diamond as well. As a great 2-sport athlete, that ball sails outside from Moore. He makes the count full.
Got a full count here with 1 out.
Looks like Moore might be struggling to see the signs from Jarvis. 3-2 pitch from Maddox. Fouled back out of play by Harrison.
Yeah, just a great battle right here. I believe this at bat is, I think, up to, I believe this is the 8th pitch of the at bat.
I believe so, yeah. Swing and a miss on Harrison. Trying to stay alive in this one, just missed on that one. And that'll be the 2nd strikeout of the game for Maddox Moore. The first out recorded by Peyton Harrison through all these at-bats through the Leopards. I mean, for that to come in the bottom half of the 6 is super impressive.
Yeah, through 2 games, it takes you your most likely last at-bat you see, and reach base every single time up to that point. That's just still an incredible, insane stat by Harrison right there.
First pitch high from Moore on Jaden Riley.
And you have Riley, who his last time up to bat was out for the first time against the Leopards in their two games that they faced each other.
1 for 2 on the night. He is a run, an RBI, and a walk. That one hits the inside edge for a strike. Evens the count at 1. Last time he grounded into a ball fielded by Neighbors, fired it over to first. Seen that a couple times where it's kind of been on Hal's depth, but Neighbors has come over and played it perfectly. A lot of the times whenever those balls are hit over there, you want the third baseman to pick those up because they have the better angle to first where they don't have to stop. They can use their momentum and fire it over to first, whereas the shortstop would have to stop, set his feet, and fire it over there. That pitch by Moore hits the outside edge for a strike, evens the count at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs now on Jaden Riley. The runners on first and second. Not gonna keep a 2-out rally going. That one high, full count again. And the next pitch will be Maddox Moore's 100th. Full count pitch from Maddox Moore. He throws it in. It'll sail away, gets away from Jarvis. It'll be a walk. Both runners will advance. Doesn't get away from Jarvis enough to advance the runners home, but it will be bases loaded for Easton Owens. He's 1 for 2 on the night with 2 RBI single that was.
And it looked like Coach Fowler came out a little bit and yelled a few things at Moore, just probably telling him he needs to find a way to get out of this inning, as it most likely is his last, since he only has 10 pitches left. He might go another batter next inning, depending on what Coach Fowler wants to do. But
depending on what situation looks like and his pitches look like. First pitch into Owens.
Yeah,
top inside zone.
Sorry.
You're good.
Especially depending on what kind of at-bat Owens can put together right here. Really, the Rabs really need something right here with the bases loaded, 2 outs.
This one gonna go foul near the Leopard dugout.
Yeah, and that right there is just not that great of a swing, especially with 2 outs. You need to be sitting a pitch that you can drive into a gap, and he just kind of threw his hands at an outside pitch when he was pulling his body away from it a little bit. And that right there is just a textbook rollover, so luckily it went foul for him.
So quickly 0-2 now on Owens. Moore comes set. We'll fire it over. Fouled back, and the at-bat will continue.
And there's no doubt that Maddox Moore has had a great showing on the mound tonight. 103 pitches, only gave up 3 runs, and those were in the first 2 innings of the game. And he's pitched zeros on the board for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning. So, but also, Easton Owens, the Texas A&M commit, is definitely, or Texas A&M Texarkana, sorry. That's who you definitely want your 3-hole, your 3-hitter definitely at bat in this sort of scenario right here, though.
Ooh, that one just runs a little bit inside, evens the count at 2. And again, the Leopard faithful unhappy with the call behind the dish.
Yeah, that one was a little close, especially on when you got a 2-strike count. That's one of those that you might not drive, but you at least want to foul off and just try to battle.
That one high, full count once again for Maddox Moore against a batter. This time the bases are loaded. He has nowhere to put. Owens.
Looks like Owens is getting a little comfortable in the box. He needs to get a, but hopefully he can battle right here, because he seems a little comfortable watching those pitches. Now he's choking up, 2 strikes, full count, bases loaded, 2 outs.
Full count pitch, fouls it off, and the at bat will continue. Moore has already walked in 1 with the bases loaded earlier in this game, and so looks to avoid that here for the 2nd time. Looks to maintain this 8-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th, especially with 2 outs.
I believe this will be his last inning, as he only has 3 more pitches.
This one high fly ball gonna be fielded by right fielder Arian Taylor, and the Leopards get out of the gap, out of the situation. Maddox Moore's night will most likely conclude with only 3 runs allowed as they get out of the bases loaded jam. We're going to take a quick break. We'll return for the top half of the 7th. You're watching Rabbit TV along with Texarkana Game Day.
Here, we provide quality materials for your dream home, and Atlanta ISD provides quality educational opportunities to help students pursue their dream futures. Red River Lumber and the Design Center is proud to be a continued supporter of Rabbit TV.
Undetected vision issues can lead to difficulties in school, hinder social interactions, and even affect their self-esteem. The good news is that there's a simple solution: regular eye checkups for your child. If a vision issue is identified, corrective measures like glasses or contact lenses can make a world of difference.
The I Guys are a proud supporter of Rapid TV and Atlanta High School. Go Rabs!
Number 4, Gabe Jarvis.
All right, welcome back. Gabe Jarvis, Tristan Howe, and Eli Jarvis do up this inning for the Leopards here in the top of the 7th, where it is a 8-run lead in favor of Liberty Ilo. Still working on the mound is Huntley Fisher. His first pitch here against Gabe. Sail high. Gabe will check his swing. 1-0. Gabe is 2 for 4 on the night, has 2 RBI. This one, high fly ball out to right field. Infielders playing shallow. Jaden Riley. Oh my gosh, Jaden Riley.
What a play by Jaden Riley.
And we thought that was a great play by Arian Taylor. The last inning coming inside. Jaden Riley throws all the way out to right field and then has to work all the way across his body to catch it as it worked back behind him.
Looks like he was running a little too fast right there. I mean, he probably thought he wasn't going to even get to it, and then he overran it. Looked like that. I mean, I thought it was in the gap. That ball just hung in the air for ages. It's like it got up there at the apex and just paused for half a second, let Jaden Riley catch up onto it. Maybe he's just so fast he slows down time.
And just going back on the talent in the outfield.
High fly ball by Howe, going to be fielded by Watley, by Owen. Yeah, Watley cleanly. Will record the second out, so 2 long outs for the Leopards, nonetheless outs. And so it will be Eli Jarvis as the Rapids trying to make a quick inning out of this one. I think the Air Force got them a good one.
It looks like he was flying out there, man.
He's also first leg for the Rabbits 4x1 too, so he can get that quick burst of speed, especially when you need to get to a ball in the outfield. So
yeah, Rabbits qualified in regionals and that. A lot of guys guys and girls qualifying in regionals here at the area meet on Wednesday, and so really good outing by the Rabbits. Did they end up winning the meet in both boys and girls?
Yes, first time in school history where the boys and girls were area champions.
Wow, liner back over to the shortstop. Will retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for the Leopards. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th, where it's the Rabbits' last chance to tie this one up or maybe even take the win. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Rabbit TV along with Texarkana Game Day.
I'm Dylan Thompson with Dylan Thompson Wealth Management. But you know, true wealth is found in knowledge. And that's why we support Atlanta High School and Rabbit TV.
Whether you're looking for a new garage door or just need repairs, Overhead Door stands for excellence. With a complete line of garage doors and openers, plus expert service you can trust. Beautifully designed, beautifully crafted, trusted for more than 90 years. Always look for the Overhead Door logo to be sure you're getting the genuine, the original Overhead Door.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Top half of the 7th. New arm on the mound for the Leopards, going to be Britton Pipes. Rocking that number 22 here tonight, a little bit uncharacteristic, but nonetheless, he will take the mound. Let's see what we can get for numbers on Pipes. I know he hadn't had a whole lot of innings worth of work. He's gone 11 2/3 innings. He's appeared in 5 games. He started a couple of them. He has a win, a loss, and a save on his record. 5 hits allowed, 9 runs allowed, 4 of them earned. He has four earned runs, 13 walks, 11 strikeouts. He has a 2.40 ERA. He's left 9 people on base. People steal base on him about 75% of the time. He has 3 stolen bases allowed. A couple wild pitches, and opponents have a 122 batting average against him. I remember we saw him first game of the year against Pleasant Grove. Hit a couple batters. First pitch, fastball to Watley. Gets him swinging. 0-1 quickly. Watley, Gaston, and Mitchell due up this inning for the Rabbits. And so Pipes has a really good fastball. It's just a matter of locating it. That one on the outside edge for a strike. Quickly 0-2. Looks like he's finding it so far. Curveball finds the zone. And Pipes comes in relief. And through one batter gets a strikeout. And that's the fourth of the game, third for the Leopards.
Yeah, and now we're getting to the part of the Rabbits lineup that has struggled the most all night. And like I said earlier, even though the Rabs are most likely not going to be able to come back from this deficit, they still would like a little bit of momentum moving into the next game.
2 pitches to Gaston, 2 strikes, 1 a swing and a miss, and 1 on the inside edge. 0-2. We'll see what he goes with here. Another curveball goes down the left field line, foul. Kind of could have predicted that was going to happen after the last at bat. So good job by Gaston sitting on it. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to it here or goes back to fastball, gets him off of his back foot. Goes back to the curveball, outside edge for a strike. 2 up, 2 sat down on the strikeout for Britton Pipes, and you can tell that he's feeling it. Eli Mitchell, last hope here for the Rabbits. First pitch he'll see up high for a ball. First ball that Pipes has thrown so far. His 8 pitches thrown. That one sails high as well. 2-0. Now it's about a matter of calming emotions down a little bit for Pipes. This one down the middle for a strike. 2-1.
That fastball's got some velocity to it.
2-1. Down low for a ball. 3-1. 3-1 pitch from Pipes is going to end up hitting Mitchell. And so he'll take first, and kind of like we mentioned, that's not necessarily abnormal for Pipes. And so Eli Mitchell will head over to first after the hit by pitch, and we'll see Huntley Fisher check in. Huntley Fisher 2 for 3 on the night, had a really good night. Could be just the spark the Rabbits need to keep this one going. See Eva Treadway and her mom here. She had an incredible night for the Lady Tigers. Hard ground ball down the left field line. Got to be ruled foul as it just went foul over the third base line. Coach Shooten does not love that call. He thought it was fair. Called foul nonetheless.
Did look like it might have stayed fair, but
no, we don't have the greatest angle on that, so that's why we don't call it foul or fair up here in the umps do.
Going back to what I was saying about Eva, who's here, she threw 7 innings against Mount Pleasant today. She only allowed 1 hit and had 12 strikeouts in that game, and so really good outing from her. And this pitch going to be a ball on the inside edge from Pipes. 1-1 now. Runner going, and Mitchell, ground ball going to be put in play over to Neighbors. He'll fire it across the diamond in time for the out, and that'll be a Leopard win. They will go to 9-0 in district play and take the win here as Maddox Moore gets the win and Britton Pipes closes it out. Really good outing from both teams tonight. Really competitive game there at the start, but errors and walks just kind of hit the Rabbits in the butt there at the end.
Yeah, great showing from the Leopards. Rabbits, they put the bat on the ball as well, but it's just unfortunate day for the Rabbits. Didn't really show up on defense, and just those errors and those mistakes made on defense and on the base path just kind of caught up to them as LE started to stack up some runs and finishing with a
Yeah, once the Rabbits really started up in that those errors, you saw their errors increase and their hitting production decrease, which is what you can't have, and that shows by the score with the Leopards winning with an astounding 11-3. Like you've already heard, they're now keeps them undefeated in district, looking to keep that going. I believe they have 2 more district games.
They have 3 more, and so with that, I believe they at least clinch a share of the district championship. It'll come down. If they end up somehow losing all 3 games for the rest of the year, and I believe if Atlanta or Redwater ends up holding their undefeated streaks from the rest of the time, then you could see kind of a playoff there at the end. But if nonetheless the Leopards would compete in that, if they get a win next time, they will officially clinch the district championship. Their next 3 looks like New Boston at home. That'll be their senior night on Tuesday, at Redwater and at DeKalb, so kind of tough ones to finish out the year. Atlanta has Ashdown here at home on Tuesday, then they're at New Boston and at Redwater, kind of the opposite. So I think that'll do it for us. We appreciate, again, Rabbit TV from doing this production, for you guys helping us along. I appreciate y'all and for bringing us this coverage here on Texarkana Game Day.
Yeah, well, we'd like to thank you for being here and helping us out with the broadcast. Definitely helped out a lot, helping covering this game, giving us all the knowledge on Liberty Aloe, since we're not as familiar with the Liberty Aloe baseball, since this is our first baseball stream of the year. So it was.
Oh, really?
It was a.
That was cool.
Yes, because we
really
haven't
cool.
we haven't had time. The weather's been all bad all year, but like we say, we've said it multiple times. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Whitehead. Thank you, Texarkana Game Day, and we'd like to thank everybody for watching at home. And even though it didn't go in the favor of the Rabs, it was still an amazing game. I feel like great game pitched by Maddox Moore, probably one of the better games I've seen by a pitcher in a long time. And do you have anything, Landry, or?
You kind of touched everything I wanted to touch on. Thank you to Texarkana Game Day. Thank you to Rabbit TV, all our sponsors, and Mr. Whitehead for, without any of this wouldn't be possible. And yeah, like you said, Maddox Moore, great showing on the mound, and great showing by the Leopards offense too. They put the bat on the ball. They did well on defense. They didn't create errors. They got the easy outs. They dominated on both sides, on defense and offense as well. And so it really showed in this game right here why they're 8-0 in district. So.
All right, so we'll close it out here. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Everybody show up Tuesday to their respective games, either here against Ashdown or at LE versus New Boston. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Everybody have a safe weekend. Good night, everybody.